Regional leaders in outdoor recreation and weather. For extensive, accurate information about trails, snow, and everything weather-related, visit legrandride.com.
Looking to make a splash in your health this summer? Mountain Valley Therapy is the home of the only therapeutic pool in all of Union County. And our state-of-the-art facility is perfect for any problem you have. Whether it's post-surgical, chronic pain, or arthritis, our therapy staff is perfectly suited to get you back to experiencing the full joy of living. So, before that summer vacation pops up, talk to your doctor about a referral or call us at 541-962-0830 to see us about starting treatment at Mountain Valley Therapy.
Listen up and listen in all the time to your favorite news talk station, Super Talk 1450 and 1490, the talk of Eastern Oregon. It's online streaming, available at supertalkradio.com. Whether smartphone, tablet, or computers, stream your Super Talk when and where you want it. Streaming on Super Talk Radio, sponsored by Nate Conklin State Farm Insurance, LeGrand. Let Nate Conklin and his team of highly trained professionals give you the peace of mind and value for all your insurance needs.
Is that a faucet running?
That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care. I ever get back, so let's root for the home team. They don't win, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
The Johnny Ballgame
All right,
Show.
thank you. Please be seated. I appreciate the ovations, but really, it's just sports talk radio, right? Welcome to the Johnny Ballgame Show. Benchwarmers Pub and Grill on a Tuesday that has that Friday type of feel to it. One of those kind of quirky Tuesdays. 4th of July is tomorrow. Everybody travel safe. Everybody be safe. Spend time with your friends, your family. Celebrate this wonderful nation's Independence Day. One of my favorite holidays. You usually get great weather. I don't have to buy a lot of presents for people. I don't have to make this super duper big deal about it. I can barbecue. I can hang out with friends and family. I can watch some fireworks at night if I so choose. And I can get out of town if I so choose. It's just one of those cool things in the summertime that I love, the 4th of July. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love some Thanksgiving. I love some Christmas. I love all this good stuff. I love all these good holidays. But, I mean, it's cold outside. Christmas costs, or if you're Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating, costs a lot of money. You got to buy folks you love and like presents and whatnot. Sometimes you got to buy people you hate presents. If that's the case, 4th of July, none of that. So I'm good. I can't wait. 4th of July upon us again. And really, you know that you're fully in summer mode when it's 4th of July time. And now, on a sports sense, 4th of July means NBA free agency. 4th of July means, well, the month of July in general means that, look, this is the final month, okay? Final month of the year without football. Every other month after July, you have football. And look, I'll count August. You give me preseason games, you give me training camp, you give me this sports talk radio program where we can talk about that stuff every single day. Absolutely, dude. You can give me all that good stuff. August is football season in my book, and this show certainly acts accordingly in that direction, too. So this is the last month. You just get through July, and then you got football season upon you. Pacific Northwest fans, this is going to be an interesting July because not only are the Mariners hanging around, I mean, they're 23 games over 500 right now. I mean, they're having the best season they've had in 16, 17 years. So that's going to be fun. Major League Baseball All-Star game coming up in a week or so. So a lot on the plate this July. World Cup going on, as I said. A wackadoo NBA free agency. Just a lot of cool stuff to talk about. But yeah, there will not be, let me get this out of the way. There will not be a show Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be back. Ball game show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. We'll be back on Friday. That I can guarantee you. What do we do on Tuesdays that we're going to do today? Well, Blue Mountain Barbers Tuesday trivia. Seattle Mariners are the trivia topic today. So remember that sucker. We will do that. Hour number 3, and we will give away good prize pack today. I got a free haircut from Blue Mountain Barbers. It's where everybody goes. And I got a free certificate for a pizza at Paisano's Pizza, our newest sponsor to the program. So how about that? A pizza and a haircut? You want to talk about a dude pack? That's what we're giving away today. Free haircut and a free pizza. Ball game show. So we'll do that hour number 3. One guest today. We're going to start a new segment. It's going to be called Fill in the Blank with Shay, and you're going to love it. Good buddy of mine, Shay, we're going to bring on Tuesdays at about 5:35, and I'm going to bust him on Fill in the Blank. And I'm going to try to stump him because this guy's like, dude, I know way more about sports than you, Ball game. I'm like, okay, let's put it to the test. Let's bring it on my show, bro. So we're going to have some fun, and I'm going to try to bust him. He does not know the fill-in-the-blank questions I will be asking him. It will be entirely on the spot. He thinks he can handle it. Ha-ha! We're going to try to bust him. So that's going to be fun, hour number 3. Lots to get to. Of course, I want you to be a part of this thing. You can call me. You can email me. You can text me. We have had some calls coming in today. We'll answer calls in about 10, 15 minutes. So hold the horses on that. If you want to get in, we'll get you in. 541-963-4122, and email and text messages. We appreciate you as well on Super Talk AM. Listen on that old school AM dial, 1450 LeGrand, 1490 Baker City. You can watch on YouTube.com. Simply type in Johnny Ballgame Show. You'll get the whole access to our YouTube channel. We'd appreciate a subscription from you. And don't forget, you got the website, JohnnyBallGameShow.com. I want you to be a part of that as well. Let's kick things off today. You can probably guess what we're going to start. We finished talking about this at the end of yesterday's show because it certainly was breaking news. But let's get into that top story today. Brought to you by the one and only Paisano's Pizza in Baker City. It's your daily top story. What just happened in the NBA? Are you kidding me? Talking a little more than 24 hours ago or less than 24 hours ago. DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie Cousins, signed to be a member of the Golden State Warriors, which does create, I mean, if this isn't the super team of super teams, I don't know what is, right? I mean, they have 5 legit All-Stars. They have 5 players on their team that were on the All-Star game, All-Star team just last year, playing in it. And I know this shook the NBA world up. I've heard what you're saying. A lot of folks are saying, okay, the NBA, you are dead to me now. All the good players can't go to the same teams. This is boring for the rest of the league. I'm hearing that. I'm also hearing people say, you know what? This is good for the league. We're only paying attention to a few teams anyway in this stinking league. Hey, let's get these teams as good as we can, and let's create a massive arms race where it's a cream of the crop league. And it's a front-running league. It's going to be a team, or a league, I should say, where there's 3 or 4 teams that maybe have a chance to win it, one mainly, and that's going to drive the bus. I've always said this, and you've heard me on this. The NBA has always been top-heavy. I'm sorry. Even going back to Bill Russell and Red Auerbach. Okay, it wasn't this big crock pot of all these ingredients of parity. The NBA has never built itself on, hey, parity here, anybody can win it. I don't care if you're a Timberwolves fan. I don't care if you're a Lakers fan. Heck, anybody can win this thing. You kidding me? Orlando Magic, Indiana Pacers, you name it. Hey, anybody can win it. No, that's never been how it is in the NBA. And the NBA has functioned at its highest level when there wasn't an ounce of parity. So I don't necessarily know if this is a bad thing with the Golden State Warriors signing another All-Star yesterday. Not just an All-Star, but I mean DeMarcus Cousins, and I know he's had his issues, heck, on and off the court. He's kind of been a pill. He's kind of been a punk sometimes, hard to handle. He's kind of a bad boy in the league, right? Kind of has that bad boy persona. I mean, fact of the matter is, that dude's had seasons where he's averaged 27 points and 11 rebounds. That's like Moses Malone stuff, dude. Like, not a lot of bigs can say they've ever went 27 and 11. And those are monster big man years. Shaq, Kareem, they look at that year and say, yeah, you had mad props on that one. Not a lot of players do that. I mean, last year, when he was playing alongside Anthony Davis for a little more than half the year before tearing his Achilles, I mean, he was on pace. He was 25-13 last year. Don't forget this. 5.5 assists. DeMarcus Cousins. You know how monster of a year that is for a big man? 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists? I mean, that is an insanely good year. That's a first-round fantasy basketball drafted player, no question with that line. And he also shoots 36% from downtown. Like, he shoots threes, this big guy does. I mean, this is legit. Uh-oh, look out. This is not signing just, a decent, bona fide all-star. We're going to really, this is a mega player. The only reason he's not household is because he's done what he's done in Sacktown and the Big Easy. Not exactly NBA basketball mecca markets. Sacramento and New Orleans. Not exactly the biggest market out there. But no, he is a beast. And I don't know what to do about it. Because look, now he's not going to play the whole year. He might not even be ready until around the All-Star break. DeMarcus Cousins with the Warriors next year. Oh, but he'll be there in the playoffs. And he's going to help. And sure, there could be some things that backfire, but I think ultimately this team is just too stinking talented to have that ship sunk, my opinion. But I don't know what you do on this. And I know there's that crowd saying the NBA is so lame with these super teams and all this. Well, what are you going to do when the guy simply wants to win? Okay, he signed a 1-year, $5.3 million deal, which is about $23 million short of his market value. If he's willing to play 1 year, rehab half the season, sit on the bench in warm-ups, he'll be ready by the playoffs, he'll help them by then, he gets his ring, and then next year he signs a max somewhere else. Like, what do you do? In sports, don't you love it when the guy chases a ring? Don't you love the guy who just wants to win? Like, you cannot have your cake and eat it too on this thing, sports fans. I hear so many sports fans contradict themselves on this issue, this big issue, which is, hey, what's more important, winning or money? Well, in this case for DeMarcus Cousins, winning was far more important than money, and now you're ripping him for wanting to win. If he went somewhere else and just chased money and got as much money as he could to play for the Orlando Magic, then you'd say, oh, he doesn't care about winning. All he cares about is the money. That's what you'd say. And then when he doesn't take the money and he goes to the best team ever assembled, sorry, Michael and Scotty, I don't know if your Bulls team are taking these guys out with the addition of Boogie. Then he signs up to be a part of the best team ever. He takes $5 million, chump change in the NBA, way below his value. And then you say, he doesn't. All he wants to do is sign up and just win cheap and just go to the best team and not challenge himself. Like, I don't get it because it's coming at me from both angles. Look, if he's willing to play for pennies on the dollar to what he could make with Orlando, then you know what? It's his life, it's his decision, and if he wants to win and be a part of something very, very special, be a part of a team that we will talk about forever. You listen to my show. What are the teams that have lasted in my lifetime? The teams that I talk about every year on this show. I talk about the Showtime Lakers. I talk about the Bird Celtics. I talk about the Bad Boys Pistons. I talk about the Michael and Scotty Bulls. I talk about the Popovich Duncan Spurs. I talk about Shaq and Kobe. I talk about this Warrior team. Talk about LeBron and the Heat. Like, you want to live forever? DeMarcus Cousins going to this team, he'll have that opportunity. We'll always talk about this team where they had 5 All-Stars, all 30 and under, in their prime, playing on the same team, and we've never seen anything like it. And a lot of them are taking less money. Klay Thompson's making, 18, 19 next year? Klay. That's nothing in NBA dollars. So again, I don't know what to tell you. Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers, Pub Grill. Let's take a call on this. First caller. Hey, I appreciate you holding. What do you have for us? Welcome to the show.
Ballgame. I'm sick of these super teams. People got to realize they're in every sport. The Yankees have done it. The Cubbies have done it. The Red Sox have done it.
Yeah,
the Lakers have done it. The Pistons have done it. Hockey teams do it. Basketball teams doing it. Who cares? It makes it more entertaining. Nobody cares about the freaking Washington Wizards.
No, they really don't. I'm with you, man.
Nobody cares about the Indiana Pacers, the Orlando Magic, the Utah Jazz. People want to see prime players play.
Okay, I can follow that, Osseo.
If
I can
LeBron
follow
went
that.
to the Pacers would be on national TV. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely, they would. They would. But LeBron would never go to the Pacers. You know.
Well, he wants to win. I heard rumors today. The reason why I'm calling you, I know you're talking about super teams, but I heard a comment. David Carr, remember, he was the first-round draft pick back in 2002 to the Houston Texans.
Okay.
Saying that Ben Roethlisberger isn't a top 10 quarterback because of Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger. Dude, David Carr, shut up. It took you 10 seasons to throw for 14,000 yards. Ben's done it in like less than 3.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know.
See what I'm saying?
Sure.
The dude has more 500-yard games than any quarterback to play the game, and that's even better than Tom Brady.
Big Ben Roethlisberger, as far as I'm concerned, is an NFL legend. He will be talked about with the best quarterbacks of all time. He is a pleasure to watch. He plays the game differently from past or present quarterbacks, for that matter, just using his size. Nothing, for me, Big Ben's resume plays, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, Osseo, or is when Big Ben he'll take on a D tackle physically. Like he will almost get in a pocket fight with a D tackle, push that dude aside, and then get the ball out, finding one of the men. Think of all the receivers Big Ben has developed. They go to other teams and they're worthless.
Plaxico, Santonio Holmes. I mean, the list.
Mike Wallace, the dude who's playing for Denver right now.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Thank you. I mean, he's developed so many receivers. Big Ben has. Tip of the cap to that guy. And I would disagree with David Carr as well. I would have Big Ben in the top 10 right now. I could probably argue him into the top 5.
He's top 5. He's got 2 rings. But anyways, people don't watch NBA regular season. People don't really get into it until later in the year when the playoffs starts coming. Now, Golden State, I did predict. I still think the Lakers are going to beat them because I still think they're going to make a huge push for Kawhi. Nothing really serious. But if they get Kawhi with Rondo, with James, LeBron James is going to make Lonzo Ball a better player. You can bet your money on that. Okay. It's going to happen.
Okay.
It's going to happen. But, oh, my God, like you said, 25-13, but 5-6. Dude, the rest of the NBA is in trouble.
And I don't know what you can do about it. Yeah, I mean, remember when...
If those 5 guys stay together for the next 2 to 3 years,
they won't.
Golden State Warriors are going to be the winningest team in NBA history.
They will, but Osseo, they're not going to be able to keep all 5 contractually. There's just no way. So this is like a 1-year ring grab for Cousins, and I can't say I have a major problem with it. If he's willing to play for $5 million, like, what are you going to do? He doesn't value money all that much. I thought the American sports fan respected that type of athlete. It's not about the money. It's about winning. And now everybody's crushing DeMarcus Cousins because he went and signed up for this team, only taking $5 million.
They crushed Durant for doing the same thing. But you know what? More players care about wearing the jewelry on their fingers than pocket. They're already making ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, and
and nine times out of 10, these people came from nothing. They're millionaires overnight once they get into the league. They want to win. Every kid dreams growing up, and you could probably contest to this. You've been a lifelong sports fan all your life. You have that dream. I don't know if you were a baseball fan. It's the bottom of the ninth. You were on the ball. You were up by 1. It's 2 outs, bases loaded, and you strike the dude out. Every kid has dreamed about that in their life. One time or another, Johnny.
No question, Osseo.
Or you got the ball in your hands and you hit that game.
I've done it all too.
Or you throw that touchdown.
I love it, man. Just growing up being a sports fan. Thanks, Osseo.
You bet.
Good stuff from him. 963-4122. Give me a call. I just don't know what to say. And he's right on something. Okay, Osseo is right on one thing. And it doesn't matter how you manipulate the roster. It really doesn't. You're never going to make the NBA regular season captivating. You never will. It starts the league in mid-October. Okay, that's right when football season is getting into 3rd or 4th gear, man. and you will never compete in this country with college football and certainly the NFL. Okay, you won't. So the NBA, I mean, heck, that's never going to happen. And I don't care what you do with the rosters. However you think the rosters, however you want the NBA to be all parity, heck, socialism in the NBA, great, fine. Everybody gets the same amount and nobody can have this and you regulate everything. Okay, fine. If that's what you want, that's still not going to bring interest to a regular season in the NBA. Nobody cares about the NBA regular season. They never have. They never will. I'm sorry. I do this for a living on a sports show, and I talk about this stuff. Dude, I don't get deep into the NBA until what? April? May? The NBA dominates April, May, and June. It does. And now, obviously, July, too, with its free agency system, which I like. The NBA, that's when the NBA makes its money. Regular season's just about owners getting their 41 home games, collecting their checks, doing their thing. But the NBA, what counts is playing in May and June. And I get it. If you're a guy like a DeMarcus Cousins, he's never advanced past the first round of the playoffs. Heck, has he ever even played in a playoff game? I don't know that Boogie has. He's never played in a playoff game. All those years in Sacramento, this year with New Orleans, he was hurt. Never played in a playoff game, man. So he's like, dude, I'm going to rehab this year anyway. I'm probably only going to be able to play about 35 games in the regular season, okay? So I will sit on the end of the Warriors bench. I will learn what it's like to be a part of this team, and come the end of the season, come playoff team, haga-laga, I'm really going to help these guys, and I'm going to get a ring. And then I can make my decision, my next career move after this season, because I'm going to have a ring on my finger. Great. And I get to play with Kevin Durant and Steph and be a part of something really special. Where, I can't fault them for it. Next caller, 541-963-4122, our Paisanos Pizza top story. Caller, what do you have?
One, I love Paisanos Pizza. Go there if you've never been, anytime you're in Baker.
Appreciate the endorsement, King. You're the man. What you got?
Dude, I'm all for Boogie doing this, man. And guess what? There's a chance he's there next year. Isn't some contracts coming up that guys might be like, we're done winning all these rings?
Clay's a free agent next summer. If he leaves, you're right. Boogie could get that money, no question.
But here's the thing. I love this because he's going to get his ring, and then he can go chase his money. I'm like chase your money in Boston or Philly?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know. I mean, people are acting like that Adam Silver should step in and block this from happening. No, Boogie Cousins, you have to go to the Orlando Magic for $30 million a year. You can't go to the Warriors on a 1-year, 5-year deal. Look, he's not even going to play most of the year, too. I don't think people are factoring that in, Caleb. He's probably going to be gone till about the All-Star break. They're saying so. He's going to miss half the year. It's kind of a rehab move, just so we can collect a damn ring, get a few $million bucks, and then make his decision next year. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it if the guy's willing to take that amount of money to be a part of something really special. I know. I mean, I don't...
Dude, I love it.
Okay.
I'm not a big basketball fan, but you know what? I'm going to be a Boogie Cousins fan because I like the fact he knew he could get more money somewhere else. But he's like, hey, why don't I rehab here? I get my ring. I'm going to see a top-notch organization, how they put it together, how they play together.
Yeah.
It's only going to make me a better basketball player, I'm guessing.
And a better dude, maybe, too, and a better guy. I mean, this guy has had problems off the floor. He's kind of a bad boy. He's been kind of a punk. This might be really good for him. Personality-wise. I don't know.
I love it, man. I'm rooting for him. And you know what? I can't wait to see how well the Blazers do against the Lakers. But you know what? I think last year proved that the Dubs, they're going to play however they play. They don't have to win them all. And they know they make the playoffs in whatever seed, and they're going to win it all.
Hey, what about, I hope you caught Colombia, England today, England winning in penalty kicks, and I can tell you they are partying like whatever year it is in Great Britain right now. That for sure, man. That was a huge win from England, getting them into the quarters, dude.
I had to catch it because I actually had to work today, but I told you I think England might have the easiest route to the finals this year.
Wow, yeah. It's World Cup.
And I would love to see England win it all, man. Good for England.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with them in soccer either. Yeah, good for them, dude. Yeah. You know, Prince Harry's partying right now. I can tell you that with that new wife of his. Heck yeah. He's chugging his favorite pint. No question. Good for him. Good stuff.
Talk to you later, bud.
Thanks.
Love you.
Hey, thanks, King. Love you too, my brother. Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Yeah, he doesn't have a problem with it at all, and that's not even a big NBA guy right there, Caleb. Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, what are you gonna do? He's willing to play for $5 million and just kind of be a part of something. I don't know. You can't, as a commissioner, as a league, force guys to go places. Remember when Chris Paul got traded to the Lakers and Chris Paul was going to play with Kobe and those guys? Remember that? And the league blocked it? I mean, that was completely different. That was a trade. He is a free agent. Which means he's free to go wherever he wants and get as much money as he wants, and it's up to him. And he chose, I'll play for 5.3 this year. I want to be a part of that. I want to be with those guys. I want to be playing on Memorial Weekend. I want to be playing into June. I mean, think about that. There's a lot of guys in the NBA, like Damian Lillard. He's never got to play into, May? Barely. There's some guys, I mean, that's when the NBA is really the NBA. It's during the playoffs. And for players who play on teams that don't go there often, I can understand the draw of saying, dude, I want to be playing in mid-May. I want to play on Memorial Weekend. I want to play in the finals in the month of June. I want to play that late in the season. I want to play when the whole world is watching my games. Because like I said, NBA regular season, bleh, bleh, bleh. It's just, it doesn't do much for anybody. I mean, you got to be a diehard NBA geek to go home every night, turn your league pass on, and watch Orlando versus Milwaukee on a Tuesday. I mean, seriously. You better have $100 on that game or be in some type of fantasy league or have a friend or family member playing on one of those teams. I don't know how you could do it. There's just no draw. It's December 22nd. The Washington Wizards are hosting, let's say, the Minnesota Timberwolves on a Wednesday night in late December. What? There's just not a draw there. The NBA makes its money come playoff time. And most of these teams you won't hear about anyway. Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Again, that is your Paisanos Pizza top story. Hey, they got a new bubble hockey machine at Paisanos Pizza. Remember Karate Kid, Daniel and Allie playing bubble hockey? Look, I think it's the only bubble hockey machine. The owner, Whitey, was telling me it's the only bubble hockey machine from here to, I don't know, Timbuktu or something, man. Get to Paisanos Pizza, appetizers. They got toasted subs, a giant stromboli. That's a heck of a menu out there, Baker City. We're going to give a certificate away for $25 at Paisanos today. So that's your Paisanos Pizza top story. One more call, and we'll get you out of here. 963-4122. Appreciate all the love on this topic. Next caller, welcome to the Johnny Ballgame Show. What you got for us?
Hey, Johnny.
What's up? What you got?
Here, it's real simple. You want an NBA ring in the next couple of years, you better be playing for Golden State because you're not going to beat them. So that's why they're all going there.
I don't think you are either, bro. I mean, you can maybe sign up to play in Boston or Philly, so you have a good chance to at least get to the finals. You can try to do the LA thing with LeBron. People remember, LeBron's going to be 34 next year. And although we've never seen any physical breakdown whatsoever with the King, Father Time is typically undefeated on these things. In 2 years, when he's like 35, approaching 36, he better have a lot of help if they're going to challenge the Warriors. The Rockets obviously kind of there too, but I'm with you. It's the Warriors season, no question. I will be flabbergasted if the Warriors don't hold up the Larry O'Brien trophy next June. I will be blown away shocked, bro.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, but but it's fun to watch them play. They're that good, and they share the ball.
Do they beat the 96 Bulls now? Is this now? Are you going to say it's the best team ever assembled?
Yeah, I think so. Just the players they bring off the bench are good. They play ball. They hit the open guy. They're not selfish.
They're not.
They don't care if I score 31 tonight and I score 2 tomorrow and we win, we win.
They don't give a rip. That Clay doesn't care that he's scoring 19 when he could be scoring 24. Durant doesn't care that he's scoring 26 when he could be scoring 35. I know. They really do play well together. They listen to Steve Kerr. They're disciplined. I mean, Draymond is kind of a punk, but he kind of fits in well with what they do. Like, no, it's a well-oiled machine, man. And they just added a dude who was scoring 26 points with 13 rebounds last year on a good team in New Orleans. They just added him.
It'll be interesting to see if he buys into it.
Yeah, or if there's any type of friction, because Boogie in the past, he hasn't played well with others. He hasn't. Right. He doesn't play well with others. He's the only child who doesn't want to share his toys, man. So it'll be odd to see what happens with the way they do, where they share everything there. Is he willing to score 15 and grab 9 boards? Is he willing to do that? Apparently he says he is. We'll see. It doesn't hurt. I mean, they got him for $5 million. Are you kidding me? This is the biggest one-year bargain in the history of the stinking league, man.
All right, keep up the good work, Johnny.
Appreciate you, man. 963-4122. Love those phone calls. Your Paisanos Pizza. Top story. Get in there. Order a Stromboli. Those things are so stinking good. Ballgame show, Benchies.
Freedom found a way. Union County is having fantastic fireworks this year at the Union High School football field, thanks to title sponsor family-owned Red Cross Drugstore. Live entertainment, DJ Denny, co-sponsor Eastern Oregon's own Super Talk, The Rock, and Boomer Radio. July 4th is on, and Red Cross Drug reminds you, get to Union High School football field early. Music at 8, fireworks at dusk. See Red Cross Drugstore on Facebook for details. Then like and share.
I'm JD Stanley with Dream Builders Contracting. We have values at Dream Builders. I'm an American, and I believe our country has a bright future. I believe in family, our community, and that our children are the future. I believe in our founding fathers and the Constitution. At Dream Builders, we treat every project with the utmost respect. Trust me when I say, if you hire us, we'll do our absolute best to make sure the job is done perfectly. That I can guarantee. Go America, go Ducks. CCB 180209.
Bud Jackson's Sportsman's Bar and Grill in LeGrand is the perfect destination for a great meal and a quality beverage. And don't forget about the family dining area where your kids will fall in love with Eastern Oregon's tastiest burgers. For all you sportsmen, Bud Jackson's always has the big game on. And there are pool tables and games for you and your friends to have some fun. Grab some lunch or dinner. You'll love the menu. It's Bud Jackson's on Adams Avenue in LeGrand. Be there and tell them Lars sent you.
You need a haircut? Well, eventually you will. Hopefully my husband's listening. Stop by Blue Mountain Barbers, 1505 Adams Avenue. You drive past it every day. Blue Mountain Barbers is all about the atmosphere and efficiency. They have TVs everywhere, so the game or ESPN is always on. And with their large staff, you won't wait long at all. Haircuts, beard trims, shaves, head shaves for you bald dudes. Blue Mountain Barbers. Go see the crew. Get fixed up at Blue Mountain Barbers on Adams Avenue.
Johnny Ballgame Show, Bench Warmers Pub and Grill, all text messages brought to us by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Get down there, big red rocking chair on the roof. I think I'm going to upset the herd a little bit. And by when I say the herd, I'm talking baseball fans that are tuned into this show. Old school, America's pastime-loving baseball fans. I don't know who sent this text. I don't have a name on it. I just have a number, and I don't ever give those out. But I have a feeling this is going to ruffle a few baseball feathers, and I wanted to talk about it. Here's the text message. Johnny, did you see the home run that Aaron Judge hit yesterday in Yankee Stadium? It was barely over the short right field porch of that park, 314 feet to be exact. what a joke. Baseball should not allow the Yankees or any other team to have a right field porch 314 feet. That's weak. Anybody can hit it out of there. No wonder home run numbers are up. Why the heck doesn't baseball force every stadium to have the same dimensions? Texter, I don't know how old you are, and I don't want to make an assumption on this and be like, oh, you're just the young millennial who didn't grow up with baseball, and you don't understand, I don't know, the quirkiness of a ballpark. And how a ballpark, have you been to a baseball game? Have you been to different ballparks? Ballparks, they were intended to, and they do have personality. I know that might sound really cheesy, Circus McGurkus to a younger dude who wants, hey, level playing field all the way, but that's not how it is. Now, I get it. It would be very odd in, let's say, basketball. Oh, well, Johnny, the San Antonio Spurs, they're playing with a 10-foot, 4-inch hoop this year. Yep. Oh, yeah, Johnny, I don't know if you heard, but the Portland Trailblazers have shrunken their three-point line. They've brought it in 3 feet, so it's easier to make a three-pointer in Portland than it is in L.A. And I get it. If that's where you are with that, you make sense with that argument. And I guess the best answer I could say is, look, basketball and football aren't baseball. They're played with a time. Okay, they're played with set quarters of time, and when the final gun goes off, the game is over, the buzzer or whatever. Baseball doesn't have it like that. It's just a different sport. So I am going to disagree with you. Look, I don't love the right field porch at Yankee Stadium either. Hey, look at the green monster on Fenway. If you're a power right-handed hitter like Manny Ramirez was, dude, you want to play for Boston. You want to play for Fenway. Because what a typical fly out to left field for Manny Ramirez was a double off the monster. A typical fly out to right for Aaron Judge is a home run on that short-ass right field porch. I get it. 314 feet. It's weak. It is. And if you want to, discredit Judge's power, you shouldn't. The guy can hit one to the moon if he has to, trust me. But look, Safeco Field isn't much different. Safeco Field's right field porch, 326 feet, compared to 314 Yankee Stadium, 12 feet further. Safeco Field, I don't know if you know this, Texter, but Safeco Field was built for Ken Griffey Jr., okay, it was built for him. Safeco Field was built for a power left-handed bat, like a Griffey. AT&T, formerly Pac Bell Park, that park was built for a power left-handed hitter, Barry Bonds. They built the ballpark for those dudes. They wanted them to hit a lot of home runs. And there's not a lot of big lefty power bats in baseball. Aaron Judge is one of them. Yankee Stadium is perfect for a big power lefty. Babe Ruth. Excuse me. The only problem with the Mariners is they built the park for Griffey and then he left. He only played like 50 games there that year. And then he bolted to Cincinnati. And they tried and tried and tried to find a power lefty and they couldn't find one. The Mariners did. But no, I mean, is anybody agreeing with me? 963-4122. I don't care if you called earlier. Call again if you want to get in on this. I mean, is this texter right? Baseball should have every single stadium have the same exact dimensions in every stadium. Yep, 330 feet down the right field line, 340 feet down left, center's 405, 408, and that's it. Foul ball territory, exactly the same in every ballpark, just like an NFL field, just like in a basketball court. 94 feet. Rims are 10 feet high. Every ballpark, every arena, every football stadium, 100 yards long, 52 and a half yards wide, whatever it is. It's not like that in baseball, and I guess I don't have a better answer than those sports just aren't baseball. And they like ballparks to fit in with the city and have personality with it and maybe fit a particular player, like I said. Why do they call it the house that Ruth built? Because they were playing in the Polo Grounds. Yankee Stadium, the Yankees didn't have a park. The Yankees weren't a big deal before Ruth got there. They shared a ballpark with John McGraw's New York Giants, the Polo Grounds. Can you imagine how weird that is? Two baseball teams sharing a park. So they had to make sure that when one team was home, the other team was on the road, and one was in the AL and one was in the NL. Just a weird deal. They never played each other unless it was a World Series. Just a weird deal. So the Yankees, like, we got this big slugger, Babe Ruth. Let's build a ballpark. What was it, Jacob Rupert, the Colonel? He bought a bunch of land in the Bronx, and they built the ballpark, and they designed the dimensions to fit Ruth's swing. And the Yankees, even though they're on a new park now, it's the same dimensions, I believe, the same dimensions as old Yankee Stadium. They've never wavered around that. We are going to have a ballpark that is going to benefit a power lefty bat, period. Also, Yankee Stadium, if you look, there's hardly any foul ball territory. So, you know what? Most of your foul balls, they go into the stands. I like that, too, because you save at bats. Like my boy Caleb, his Oakland A's, are you kidding me? Have you seen the dimensions of Oakland Alameda Coliseum? Excuse me. No wonder nobody can hit 300 playing for the A's. Seriously. Have you seen how wide? Have you seen the distance? Have you seen the pasture that is the foul ball territory in Oakland? It's insane, man. The third baseman and the first baseman got like 25 yards to work with of foul territory. Of course, you're not going to hit 300. Because if you hit most of those balls, that's a foul ball in the stands. In Oakland, first baseman, third baseman, they're right there to catch that sucker. So if you want to text me on this, 541-962-7700, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Emails, JohnnyBallGameShow@gmail.com. I mean, should baseball consider that? Should they have a universal ballpark measurement system? Ballparks aren't allowed to move the fence how they want to do it. Fenway Park's got to get rid of the green monster. I mean, I would think, and again, I don't want to jump to conclusions on the texter. I appreciate the text. Northwest Furniture and Mattress text line. But I would question how long you've been a fan of baseball, if you even consider yourself a fan of baseball. And I hate to be a old fuddy-duddy, but I would think, I mean, have you watched baseball a lot? Because I would think like an old, I don't know. Again, maybe I'm being a jerk on that. Maybe I should watch my mouth and not hate on you just because, oh, you're 20. You don't know anything about anything, kid. I don't want to be that guy. I don't. But I would imagine most folks that I would talk to who could say they've watched Don Drysdale pitch. You know, they've been watching baseball their whole life. They probably like the fact that every ballpark is a little different. Certain ballparks cater towards pitchers. Certain ballparks cater towards hitters. Certain ballparks cater towards lefties. Certain cater towards righties. Like the ballpark has a little personality to it. I've never had a problem with that. Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill.
Time now for your LeGrand Ride weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, a low of 46 degrees with mostly clear skies. For tomorrow, a high near 86 degrees with partly cloudy conditions. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low near 44 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny throughout the day with a high near 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Grand Ronde Hospital. With our 25-bed hospital and 13 outpatient clinics, we offer acute, emergency, primary, and specialty care options for everyone.
Grand Ronde Hospital.
Now to the opioid epidemic, killing tens of thousands of Americans every year.
Nationwide, the opioid crisis is raging.
Opioid addiction, a national epidemic that's ravaging our communities. Here in Oregon, Greg Walden listens. He learns. In Washington, he takes action, leading Congress to pass sweeping legislation to provide critical resources to help families and patients suffering from addiction to get the help they need, stop dangerous drugs from coming into our country, and arm our police with the tools to fight this menace.
This is Greg Walden. I've heard the tragic stories throughout Oregon, and I've met with families and advocates and medical providers providers and our law enforcement who are on the front lines of this fight, and they need our help. Every day I'm focused on fighting this epidemic, and we're making important progress, and in a bipartisan way. I'm Greg Walden, and I approve this message because far too many of us have been touched by this epidemic, and I'm working to change that.
Greg Walden, working for us. Paid for by Walden for Congress, Inc.
When selling your real estate, listing is the first and most important step. Think twice and list once. List your property with Ranch and Home Realty. They'll put 6 decades of experience and success in Eastern Oregon right to work for you. Ranch and Home Realty understands the unique nature of our market. They know what works and what doesn't. For homes, commercial, land, ranches, and farms, if it's property, they get it done. List once and don't think twice about choosing Eastern Oregon's trusted Ranch and Home Realty. 963-5450.
Hi, this is Rudy Maxa. Join me along with Robert and Mary Carey each Saturday on this station as we talk to the travel newsmakers, share insights and tips, and experience the world together on America's #1 travel radio show.
Super Talk Radio is your home for Rudy Maxa's World with the Careys, Saturday afternoons, brought to you by Baker Garage on Washington in historic downtown Baker City and online at bakercitygmsales.com.
Ballgame show, bench warmers, pub and grill. You see Maria Sharapova gone in round 1 of Wimbledon. You see the tennis player that beat her. Oh, knockout! Ballgame show, bench warmers, pub and grill. Look, NFL suspensions. This is really the only NFL news you kind of get now. Guys retiring. Cam's sake, we all think it's not a super duper official, but it's pretty stinking official. I did my ode to Cam Chancellor last night. If you missed it, you can go back and watch on YouTube. It was at like the 2.5 hour mark, something like that. It was sad, man. I miss that guy. One of my favorite Seahawks ever. But all you hear now is, that type of stuff, suspensions. We heard today the NFL came down, personal conduct policy police, busted 3 players each for a total of 2 games. Reuben Foster, 49er linebacker. This, by the way, I'm going to talk about not bad news for Seahawk fans. Reuben Foster, 49er linebacker, a guy they like. He's had some run-ins here and there a little bit. Hasn't been squeaky clean by any stretch, but he can play, and they like him. And they traded up last year in the first round to get him out of Alabama. And he's gone for 2 games, first 2 games of the year. I mean, this could be the difference. I'm telling you, in the NFC this year, you better hope to win 11 games if you're going to make the playoffs. And this could be the difference. A suspension like this in 9-7 or 10-6, or 8-8 and 10-6. This could be the difference. I mean, this isn't baseball. You don't play every day. You get 16 opportunities. The whole league does. And 9-7, in my opinion, doesn't get you in the playoffs this year. Heck, I don't think it got you in last year. Excuse me. Got frog in the throat today. Ballgame show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Not bad news for the Hawks. Here's more not bad news for the Hawks. Green Bay Packer. 2-game suspension. Running back Aaron Jones. A guy who came in last year and surprised a lot of people. He was a fantasy football waiver wire sensation. Remember Aaron Jones last year? He got the gig and literally ran with it. And here's another guy. He was a rookie last year. Here's a guy Green Bay likes. They like Jones. They like Williams. And they still have Montgomery there as well. So they like this kid. This charge, marijuana related in February from a traffic stop on October 1st. Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers, gone for 2 games. Not horrible news for the Seahawks, is it? And this one also. Last season, only 1 team in the entire NFL had all 5 starting linemen start all 16 games in the same spot. Can you believe that? There was a year that Seattle did that. Yeah, it was called 2013. They won the Super Bowl. That's how big that stat is when you have no interruptions whatsoever with your offensive line, man. Steady Eddie. This one's big. L.A. Rams starting guard Jamon Brown suspended 2 games, violating the league's substance abuse policy. So this means the streak of consecutive starts altogether from that L.A. Ram offensive line, which was really good last year. They protected Jared Goff. They blocked for Todd Gurley. A lot of people think the Rams, heck, Super Bowl contenders. And maybe so. Maybe they are. But without Jamon Brown for 2 weeks, that hurts. Again, not bad news for Seahawks fans. 3 teams the Seahawks are looking up against, not only that, but play next year. The Seahawks play Green Bay, don't they? And I think they do. They play Green Bay again. Seems like they play Green Bay every stinking year. So, yeah, Jamon Brown gone 2 games. And again, I mean, that Rams team started all 16 games, the same line, same space. They were the only team last year that did it. Pretty good. Pretty good. Ballgame show, Benchwarmers, Pub and Grill. So some suspensions being dealt with there. And again, that's really all you hear from the NFL these days. Text messages, Northwest Furniture and Mattress text line. Johnny, you idiot. Keep the ballparks unique. Visiting all ballparks is a bucket list item, and that's one of the reasons I love sports. Yeah, totally. I'm with you. I mean, if every ballpark had the exact same dimensions, and again, I understand why it needs to be that way for football and for basketball, certainly. Like, you couldn't have one team like, oh, they don't have a 3-point line here. Nope, sorry. The Dallas Mavericks don't have a 3-point line. So any game you play in Dallas, there's no 3-pointers. Like, no, dude. But in baseball, I mean, the dimensions of a park, I mean, it's got its personality and whatnot. And again, that's just baseball. I don't want to fix that. Everybody wants to fix everything with baseball. Why is that? Ballgame show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Seriously, man.
2 things are very important to me when getting my vehicle's oil changed. Getting the job done correct and in a timely manner. That's what makes Island City Speed Lube special. Even when I pull up and see 3 or 4 vehicles ahead of me, I know my wait's gonna be quick. The free popcorn and coffee in the waiting room are also pretty sweet. I've waited an hour to get my oil changed before. Never at Island City Speed Lube. Fast service, great service. A lot of other services too. You will notice how fast they are. Island City Speed Lube.
Ever wonder how you pick up TV signal from Portland and Boise stations in Baker and Union counties? Blue Mountain Translator District maintains translators that transmit signals that would otherwise be unavailable to us here. If you would like to take advantage of this service, $100 per year supports the maintenance and improvements of those translators, so we can all enjoy television service without the need for expensive satellite service. Look for your service letter in the mail if you live in the county, or if you're in the city, call to get signed up at 541-963-0196. Learn more online at bmtd.org.
It's time now for Community Calendar Update. The American Legion Post 43 in LeGrand is serving up hamburgers every Tuesday night from 5 to 7 p.m. Stop in for the hamburgers and enjoy live music, too. The public is welcome to come down to 301 First Street in LeGrand each week to participate. If you or someone you know is struggling with alcohol, there are many Alcoholics Anonymous meetings in our area. To learn more about upcoming meetings or to speak with someone in Alcoholics Anonymous, visit OregonAADistrict29.org. The Meals on Wheels program in Union County is in need of volunteers to deliver meals to seniors at their homes. The time investment is only about 2 hours per week. If you're interested in helping out, stop by Community Connection of Union County office at 1504 North Albany Street in LeGrand or call 541-963-7532. This community calendar update is brought to you by Benchmark Land Surveying. Are you planning to build a new shop, add on to your home, or build fence this year? Regardless of the project size, you'll need some form of surveying. For a free quote, call Benchmark Land Surveying in Baker City.
it all. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take that away from me. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take it. No, you can't.
I can listen to Nine Inch Nails all stinking day if you want me to. Turn this show off. Just go Nine Inch Nails greatest hits for you. A little Head Like a Hole. I know my boy Bushy's digging that. Let's get to our LeGrand Stereo and Music Game of the Night. I got news coming out of Seattle I want to get to. That is my LeGrand Stereo and Music Game of the Night. First game of, I believe, a 3-game series beginning in Seattle. LA Angels, Seattle Mariners. And if you look at the standings on this one, the Mariners 54-31, 23 games over 500. The Angels 43-42, 1 game over 500. Honestly, this could be a situation where the Mariners can pretty much, come a lot closer, and maybe even so, just knock the Angels out. A sweep this series, maybe that's bye-bye Mike Trout in the Angels. By the way, how many hits does Trout have tonight? Over-under's 2.5. You going over? Right? That guy is the flat-out Mariner killer. By the way, here's the news I wanted to talk about. The Angels earlier today activated Shohei Ohtani from the disabled list. He will start tonight. He will DH, and he will hit 6th in the lineup for the Angels. He's been out since June 6th with a grade 2 sprain of the ulnar collateral ligament in his right elbow. It's a partial tear. He hopes to avoid Tommy John surgery. Anywho, right now he's not going to pitch, but it looks like he's going to be able to DH often for the Angels. This is kind of the last grab for the Angels, I think. They know this series is big time to come in there and get back in this race, so to speak. And, he's playing tonight. Shohei Ohtani hitting 6th. LeGrand Stereo and Music, brands like Kenwood, Rockford Fosgate, PV, professional installation, any type of musical instrument, they have it, they sell it, they'll teach you how to play it. Sac Annex, downtown LeGrand Stereo and Music. Quick first hour, we'll be back.
Eastern Oregon's home for news, talk, weather, and sports. This is KLBM LeGrand and KBKR Baker City. Super Talk Radio, the talk of Eastern Oregon.
Russian meddling, Pruitt's plan. I'm Jan Johnson. A key group of lawmakers involved in the Russia investigation is supporting a previous assessment by the intelligence community that Russia did meddle in the last presidential campaign and they had a favorite candidate. Here's correspondent Evan Perez.
This is a bipartisan finding from the Senate Intelligence Committee, and it says that the intelligence community assessment back in 2016, at the end of 2016, and it was published in early 2017, that it is sound work that was done by the intelligence community, that not only were the Russians responsible for meddling in the 2016 election, but that they had a preference for Donald Trump, and they were trying to hurt Hillary Clinton.
EPA Chief Scott Pruitt, who's under multiple investigations for possible ethics violations and overspending, reportedly asked President Trump directly to fire Attorney General Jeff Sessions and give him Sessions' job.
Sources telling CNN that Pruitt proposed making him the acting head of the DOJ for 210 days under the Vacancies Reform Act. His plan after that? Return to Oklahoma and run for office.
Caitlin Collins reporting from the White House. Some 80 million people were under some kind of heat alert today, and meteorologist Chad Meyer says not much relief for the holiday tomorrow, but stand by.
It's cooler from here on out as a major cold front comes through for the weekend. So that will help things dry. It'll dry the air out. It'll cool the air down. It'll feel 25 degrees cooler by the weekend.
More than 100 homes in southern Colorado went up in smoke today as firefighters lost the battle to a wildfire southwest of Denver. In Utah, authorities have evacuated hundreds of homes because of a growing fire near a popular fishing reservoir southeast of Salt Lake City. Wall Street had a short but bumpy day today. Ahead of the holiday, the Dow lost 132. I'm Jan Johnson.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for a healthcare plan, or more importantly, if you signed up for a plan that you're just not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing program. It's been around for 25 years. They have hundreds of thousands of members all across the country. And get this, over the years, MediShare members have shared more than $2.5 billion of each other's medical bills. Best of all, you could save a lot of money with MediShare. The typical savings for a family is about $500 a month. Your savings may be less or more, but think about what you could do with that extra money every month. So if you think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have much to offer, think again. You can join MediShare anytime, so call them today and check it out. Here's the number to find out more. There's no pressure. They're super easy to talk to. Just hit *848. That's *848, *848.
It's time now for your LeGrand Ride weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, a low of 46 degrees with mostly clear skies. For tomorrow, a high near 86 degrees with partly cloudy conditions. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low near 44 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny throughout the day with a high near 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Grand Ronde Hospital. As a not-for-profit organization, we have a hospital-based financial assistance program. Find out more at grh.org.
Grand Ronde Hospital.
Valley Concrete Pumping is your continuing local leader when it comes to all concrete pouring projects. For both contractors and do-it-yourselfers, Valley Concrete has by far the best service and prices. Having concrete poured for your project is a big decision. You gotta make sure it's done right, and owner-operator Lee Atkinson knows the business as well as anyone. So whatever the project may be, contact Valley Concrete Pumping and Lee Atkinson. You'll be 100% satisfied. That's a guarantee.
In honor of servicemen and women of America who have sacrificed so much for our nation and values, Super Talk Radio continually focuses on how we can support our veterans. Whether it's through highlighting helpful organizations, showcasing stories of veterans during their time of service, or covering efforts to assist veterans in need, we'd like to take a moment of time to say thank you for freedom. This message brought to you in part by LeGrand Les Schwab, trusted quality for brakes, batteries, alignments, and tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing matters.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care. I ever get back, so let's root for the home team. They don't win, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
The Johnny Ballgame Show.
Benchwarmers Pub and Grill, we appreciate you. I went to Benchies today. Had a nice lunch with my boy Lee Atkinson over there at Valley Concrete, doing really good things. Like I said earlier when I opened the show, like I had one of those days. I thought it was Friday up until about 12:45 in the afternoon. I just thought it was Friday. I know I don't have to work tomorrow. You know, I got the 4th of July. It's one of those Tuesdays that oddly feels like a Friday. And I'm thinking the whole day like, oh, yes, it's Friday. That means it's clam chowder day at Benchies. I love the Benchwarmers clam chowder. If I can go there every Friday, I do. A big clam chowder fan there at Benchies. Not too thick, not too runny. It's just perfect for me. Anyway, so I get there today and I'm looking at the special board and I'm talking to Morgan there, the bartender. And I'm like, where's the clam chowder? You know, crap. Yeah, it's Tuesday. One of those deals. But I'll tell you this, I'll take a Tuesday that feels like a Friday over a Friday that feels like a Friday, right? I mean, a lot of folks listening right now, dude, you're off the rest of the week. I am not. I will be back on Friday for this show. But we will have Fox Sports Radio, and we will have Fox Sports Radio again on Thursday. So happy, safe 4th of July in advance. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, we will play a game this hour. I call it percentages. So you talk about something you think is going to happen and ask me to put a percentage behind it. Okay? Johnny, the Mariners will score 10 or more runs tonight. What's the percentage that happens? For the Mariners to score 10 runs tonight, percentage, I'll say, 6%, 7%. Something like that. So we'll do that next. So get those percentages in. Email the percentage to johnnyballgameshow@gmail.com or text it to 541-962-7700. Back to some baseball stuff here. And I was a little surprised to find out this because I was wondering, okay, first off, Rob Manfred, baseball commissioner, a guy we pick on this show, probably, and I don't know if it's fair, but probably more than most commissioners. I mean, Goodell gets it a little bit too. We leave Adam Silver and Gary Bettman alone pretty much. I don't know who MLS commissioner is, and I don't really care. But we give it to Manfred a little bit because he's trying to change. I mean, he wants, more replay in baseball. Okay, cool, whatevs. He wants the DH out of the national. He wants the DH in the National League. I don't know. I know a lot of old school NL baseball fans that love senior circuit baseball, and they're saying, heck no. You are not getting rid of. You are not bringing the DH to the NL. No, thank you. So just little things like that. He's trying to speed the game up, pitch clocks, monitoring the times a manager or a catcher can have a mound visit. Just a lot of stuff. Look, I looked up these numbers last night. I was cracking cold ones, and I was doing some research. And MLB games, they're shorter this year. They're shorter by about 5 minutes, okay? I don't know what that does for you in your life. Oh, my gosh, yes. You now have 5 more minutes in your day. If you are a person who goes home, if you're a person who watches a lot of baseball, let's say you watch 3 baseball games a week, okay? I'd consider you a pretty serious fan if you could say, yeah, I watch 3 baseball games a week, whether that's Mariner games, whether that's Oakland A's games, San Francisco Giants game, Yankees, Red Sox, or just whatever game that ESPN gives you. Monday Night Baseball, Wednesday Night Baseball, Sunday Night Baseball. If you have MLB Network, there's always games on that station now too, on that channel. So yeah, you can find a baseball game. If you're watching, say, 3 full games a week, I'd say you're a pretty big fan. I wouldn't call you a diehard, but I'd call you a pretty big fan, pretty close, okay? I typically, on a normal Mariner year, I couldn't say I watched 3 baseball games a week. I mean, does flipping back and forth with channels, does that count? I mean, watch an inning here or an inning there, and then I'll watch something else or go somewhere else, take a nap, whatever. This year, more than I can say in a long time, I watched 9 innings. I'll watch the whole game. Like, I'll probably watch the whole game tonight. I don't see what would interrupt me from watching the Mariners-Angels, unless the Angels are just beating the hell out of them, and then I'll turn it off because I'm mad. That type of thing. Hopefully that's not the case. Knock on some wood for me. But okay. So Rob Manfred, baseball commissioner, wanted to speed it up, and he has, and it's worked. Okay, great. Games are shorter, and hopefully they'll continue to be shorter, right? Hopefully this will continue, and next year they'll get even shorter. Fine, whatever. If that's how you want it to happen, great. But here's what's not helping: television ratings. Okay. Rob Manfred thought the problem was, dang it, the games are too long. There's too many commercial breaks. There's too many pitching changes leading to more commercial breaks. There's too many mound visits. Guys are stepping out of the box after every pitch. Even if they don't swing the bat, they are readjusting their wristbands and batting gloves after every pitch, even if they don't swing it. And that baseball we don't want. And that's why a lot of the fans aren't watching. Okay, that's what the commissioner was telling us. I'm looking right now, and we're halfway through the season, okay? Most teams have played at least 81 games. Well, I'll just start with the national broadcast, okay? ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Matt Vasgersian, Jessica Mendoza, and Alex Rodriguez, the 3-team booth. I happen to like this team. I think Jessica Mendoza is one of the great softball players. I know having a female in the booth on a big broadcast, that was a watershed moment. I don't care, man, woman, analyze the game, talk to me about it, tell me something I don't know, be entertaining, and I think she is. I'm a Jessica Mendoza fan. I don't think she's the reason that Sunday Night Baseball ratings are down, because they are. Alex Rodriguez, honestly, I think is terrific. Every time I watch, I like his stories. I like his clinics. I like how he talks about the mechanics of hitting and pitching and being in a clubhouse and the marathon. I like A-Rod's analysis. I think he's terrific. I really do. And Matt Vasgersian, sure, he's a pro. But I saw this number, and that for 10 straight weeks, Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN has declined in ratings. Every single week, less folks have watched. So I think about this and I'm like, okay, Commissioner, you were the one telling me, hey, whoa. If you shrink it, they will come. Games are shorter now and ratings are declining. So I don't think it's, oh my God, the games are too long. Even if maybe they are. So then what is it? I'll tell you what I think it is. And maybe it's a case-by-case thing. And the reason the ratings are down this year might be different than why the ratings were down last year or while they'll be down next year. Let me just speak to this year. Just if you look at the standings, the American League in particular, like here we are on July 3rd, and honestly, there's 11 teams that are out of it. You know, like out of it. Rays, Jays, O's, Tigers, Twins, Sox, Royals, Rangers, and you know what? Angels will see. I mean, dude, like, if you're a fan of the Toronto Blue Jays, you're probably not watching Sunday Night Baseball. Your team's out of it. What do you care anymore? There's no fantasy baseball like fantasy football. Football's lucky. Football has gambling, and football has fantasy football that everybody plays. Everybody plays fantasy football. So it doesn't matter who is playing in ugly uniforms on a Thursday night. Chances are you or your opponent that week has a player or two playing in that game. So you have a vested interest. You got money at stake. You do. You got bragging rights. And Sunday Night Baseball, if you're a Minnesota Twins fan this year and you're 12 games under 500 right now, you know, you're like, dude, why am I going to watch Sunday Night Baseball when it's the Astros versus the Yankees, or it's the Yankees versus the Sox, or it's the Cubs versus the Cardinals, or the Dodgers versus the Giants, or the Braves versus the Mets? I don't care about that. National League might be a little different. It's a little more competitive. But also, I think what hurts it, and I'm not telling ESPN they should switch it, but you're never going to see, and I'm not saying I want to, but you're never going to see the Miami Marlins versus the Pittsburgh Pirates on Sunday Night Baseball. It's not like, say, the NFL is in regards to Thursday Night Football, where every team gets one nationally televised game a year. Every team gets the one. Baseball, the Cincinnati Reds will not be on national television this year. They won't. The Royals and the Orioles, they won't be on national television. You won't see a game unless your team is playing them. Or maybe they put them on briefly on MLB Network or something when they're playing the Yankees or the Red Sox, something like that. I think that's the issue this year. I just think a lot of fan bases are out of it. They have no more skin in the game. And you know what? Maybe some of them actually have a life, like a wife or a husband and kids and a job, and they're coaching, or they have church, or they have a golf, or they have a hobby. They do something other than sit at home and watch Sunday Night Baseball where, oh my gosh, who's playing this week? Oh yeah, it's the Yankees and the Red Sox. Oh, who's playing next week? Oh yeah, it's the Cubs and the Cardinals. It's the same games every week. But Sunday Night Baseball, and that's a big franchise for ESPN, okay? They spend a lot of money on that. That's their marquee game of the week. I used to work for ESPN. I know this stuff, dude. And I used to work for ESPN Radio, and we would air those games. We aired Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio, and it was the same game we would air that the television side would typically air. We aired the same game, and we would get out there and try to sell it in Boise. Hey, do you want your commercials airing during Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio? We would do that stuff. Like, that's a big deal for them. They spend a lot of money. They give baseball a lot of money to be able to air the Sunday night franchise. And the ratings are dropping every week. And just my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, 963-4122. My opinion, it's not the play-by-play team. And maybe some folks out there, and maybe that's just the case, you're not going to give A-Rod a chance because he's a cheater. You're not going to give Mendoza a chance because she's a woman, and shame on you for that. And you don't know about Matt Vasgersian enough to give a rip regardless. It doesn't even matter who the play-by-play guy is. You don't like A-Rod, and you don't like the fact that there's a woman in the booth. Get over yourself, dude. She knows more about this than you do. Yes, she does. Oh, I get it. You ripped it up in high school. I get it. You have a $400 softball bat. I get it. You go all these awesome beer league softball tournaments. You really know baseball. I get you. No, she knows a lot more than you. One of the great softball players in this country's history. She studies the game. She talks to people who know more about it than you do, and she's a good broadcaster. She's entertaining, and she's intelligent, and it's not a problem with the talent. A-Rod's terrific, Mendoza's terrific, and Vasgersian's a pro. It's not the booth. I think a lot of it is, look, there's a big portion of baseball fans, I'm sorry, that root for the Orioles. And they root for the Blue Jays and the Tigers and the White Sox and the Rangers and the Angels, right? And the Phillies and the Mets and the Cardinals and the Giants and the Rockies and the Dodgers. Like, there's a lot of fan bases there that on a Sunday night in the summertime, it's warm out. They're just not going to cuddle up in front of the TV as a family and watch Cubs Mets. I mean, unless you are a Cubs or Mets fan. Or unless you love a team that is competing in the same division as the Cubs or Mets. And even that's a tough draw. So, look, Rob Manfred, back to the drawing board on this. It's not that, the games are too long. Games are shorter this year, and ratings still aren't cooperating. Games are shorter because, dude, everybody's striking out and hitting solo home runs. Games are quick now. Like, I went to my friend Joel's house on Sunday, watched the Mariners game there, that day game where they beat the Royals 1-0. The game started at 1. Dude, I left. I got out of there by, what was it? Seriously, 2:30, 3? Is that how quick? I mean, it was barely a 2-hour game. So they are shorter now. And ratings aren't jumping through the roof. That wasn't the reason. And again, I'm not saying I know what the reason is. I just have a suggestion. There's a lot of fan bases. Look, it's July 3rd, and they don't care about the baseball season anymore because I've been there. I've been there like the last 15 years as a Mariner fan. My team, by July, I'm out of it. I'm 14 games back by now. I'm not watching Sunday Night Baseball to oh, my God, yes, the Yankees and the Astros are playing. Yes, I don't care about those teams. I'm jealous. Screw those guys. When's my team going to get good? And I think there's a lot of fan bases in baseball right now that are saying that. Like, I'm done. When's football season start? I'm not going to waste a gorgeous Sunday evening watching a baseball game that I don't even care about. In football, luckily, you have fantasy. People care about the NFL because of fantasy football more than their team. My boy A.O., he would rather his fantasy team win than the Seahawks. And he might deny that, but I know it's true. He'd say, I got money on my fantasy teams. It's an investment. I don't make any money when the Seahawks win unless I gamble on them. So gamble on them. No, but for me, dude, Seahawks come first before my stupid fantasy teams. But I'm in the minority, I think. I talk to a lot of people. They don't, you know what? It's all about their fantasy team. You know, they're going to watch Titans versus Texans on a Thursday night because they're playing against a guy who has DeAndre Hopkins and they're starting Derrick Henry. And they're going to watch every play of that game. Titans, Texans. Why? Because it's a big fantasy game for them. And baseball doesn't have that draw. There is no reason, even for me as a Mariner fan at all, I have zero reason to pay attention to what happens tonight in the Mets-Blue Jays game. I have no reason at all. I don't care who wins. It means nothing in my life. Mets in Toronto to take on the Jays. Nope. That game might as well not even exist for me. If that was football, dude, I'd have a quarterback, maybe my tight end's playing, and the guy the person I'm playing against, maybe they have a kicker, a defense, a receiver. I'm invested in that game. I want to know what's going on because it's going to impact my fantasy team. And even if you play fantasy baseball, there's no way you're that much of a diehard. Oh, I got to pay attention to the Rays-Marlins game tonight because, whoa, I have a middle reliever for the Marlins, and I want to see if he can keep his whip below 1. I got a middle infielder for the Rays, and I want to see if he can improve his on-base percentage. Nerds! Like, nobody's that geeky with it. And if you are, man, when's the last time you've kissed a girl? I want to know. It's probably longer than I have, and that's a long, stinking time. Get your percentages in. I want to play percentages. We'll do that next. Also, you're traveling this summer. I get it. I'm traveling a lot this summer as well. You know, my vehicle's up to snuff right now because I take it to Island City Speed Lube. I have Brock. I have Elijah. I have the whole crew work on that. Oli. They have a really good team down there at Island City Speed Lube. Big sponsors of the show. They always have been. Hopefully always will be. Brock does a terrific job. Really knows his NBA. And get down there. It's the fastest oil change in Eastern Oregon. They also offer rebates. They're open Monday through Saturday. They're next to the C&M Country Store out in Island City. Diesel injection service, fuel air inductions, even transmission flushing services. It's not just about getting your oil changed at Island City Speed Lube. There's a lot of stuff. Extensive lubrication, maintenance. Seriously, bang for your buck down there at Island City Speed Lube. Some quick NFL news breaking into the studio. Julian Edelman's appeal of a 4-game suspension has been denied by the NFL. The Patriot wide receiver will now officially be gone the first 4 games next season. Adjust your fantasy football cheat sheets accordingly.
The Eagle Creek fire has charred some 30,000 acres, and much of the region has been blanketed in a smoky haze. It's considered the most threatening to public safety and property.
Forest fires tearing through our state, burning over 700,000 acres to the ground, threatening communities, shutting down our highways, causing unhealthy and hazardous air quality. Congressman Greg Walden saw the devastation firsthand, and he acted, pushing Washington to enact the most significant forest policy reforms in 15 years. Because of Greg Walden's leadership, wildfires will now be treated like the natural disasters they are. Oregon will have the funding we need to fight these deadly wildfires, with new tools to better manage our forests and protect watersheds, critical habitat, and our communities.
I'm Greg Walden, and I approve this message because while forest fires may be a fact of life in the West, it doesn't mean we can't do more to prevent and stop them.
Greg Walden, working for us. Paid for by Walden for Congress, Inc.
Knee-High Enterprises in Baker City provides options for you and services that you might not even realize. How about new doors or windows for your home or business? You'll save a ton on energy costs. How about vinyl signs or banners for an event you have, or putting your business logo on a vehicle? Knee-High Enterprises in Baker City does all of that and more throughout the entire valley. New garage door openers and installation service. They're the best. Open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Knee-High Enterprises. Big enough for the big jobs, small enough to care.
Tradio. Tune in every Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. as Cliff Turner hosts Union and Baker County's largest garage sale. Listeners, call and email Cliff with items they have for sale, and he puts their message on the air absolutely free. Tradio is proudly brought to you by My Hearing Centers. Try before you buy, exclusively at My Hearing Centers. Book your free hearing evaluation and free trial today. Call 663-4772. 663-4772.
Do you feel like you're paying too much for your auto insurance? If so, it may be time to shop around for a different insurance provider. I'm Bree Troutman with American Family Insurance in LeGrand. Did you know that it takes an average of 5 minutes to complete a quote? Swing by my office at 109 Depot Street in downtown LeGrand, and we would be happy to give you a free quote for insurance to see if we can save you some money. Or give us a call at 541-663-1919.
American Family Insurance.
In my house, our community means something. When we can, my wife and I strive to make sure all of our dollars are spent locally. Our community is that important to us. Kyle McCandy here from MJ Goss Motors. We're community-minded at Goss Motors. We have been long before I joined this company, and will be long after I'm gone. Money spent at Goss will stay in this community. Goss Motors has given back to the community over the last 90 years or so, as much as any local business in Eastern Oregon. Thank you for helping us keep it local at MJ Goss Motor Company.
Remember this one? I want to say what, like 89, 90, 91? Kind of the apex that was Bobby Brown. Hey, this album got him Whitney, dude. Don't hate. Don't hate. This got him Whitney. Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers, Pub and Grill. Rest in peace, Whitney Houston. I got percentage around the corner, so continue to get those in. Email or text them to me. JohnnyBallGameShow@gmail.com. Send an email. Give me a percentage. Johnny, Ichiro will play in the Home Run Derby for the All-Star Game. What's the percentage? So go ahead and do that. Let's have some fun. I appreciate you. This is brought to you by Knee High Enterprises. Big enough for the big jobs, small enough to care. Let's go ahead. Let's have some fun. Let's play the percentages. By the way, a free coffee I will give you from Dutch Bros if you can name me the movie or movie series that this song you're listening to in the background is a part of the soundtrack with. What song is this movie? What movie is this song in? Email or text me the answer, and I'll give you a free gift certificate at Dutch Bros. First up, all right, percentages. What we got here? First up, Johnny. This is pretty funny. The percentage that the Golden State Warriors will win the championship. I mean, how high can... I mean, look, I'll tell you this. I will give them a better chance of winning the title this year than I would have given Michael in some of those years with the Bulls. I mean, LeBron, look, he's fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. But that team's not contending with Golden State. They'd be lucky to win 2 games in a series against the Warriors. Sorry. The Rockets, hey, they beat the Warriors 3 times last year out of 7 games. Pretty good. What's the difference that Boogie Cousins is going to make? I don't know. I'll say the percentage that the Warriors win the title, honestly, gosh, 91%. I mean, is that way too high? It seems high. But, dude, I'll stick with it. 91%. All right, next one. The Blazers will make the playoffs. I don't think they will. I am on the record saying that. I think this will be a missed playoff season, and Neil O'Shea will be fired, and they can begin to have a light at the end of the tunnel. Blazers make the playoffs. I'll give them a 20% chance. 20%. 1 out of 5. Look, I like what other teams are doing better than them. I know they were the 3 seed last year. Look, they haven't even brought Nurk back, and I don't think they will. And they couldn't even bring... I had a lovely woman come into the station today. Bless my heart. I can't remember the lovely woman's name. She's a huge Blazer fan. And she comes in, she's like, look, I got one question. I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? I didn't think she was going to want to talk about the Blazers. And this woman comes in, she says, hey, what the hell are the Blazers doing not bringing back Ed Davis? I'm like, right? Word up. Yes. Well, they give Seth Curry, Steph's brother, who's been hurt all year, money. They bring Nick Stauskas in, and they give him money, and they can't bring back Ed Davis for $4 million a year? Ridiculous, man. They're going to miss Ed Davis. Any Blazer fan knows that. Next one, percentage. Johnny, Cam Chancellor will make the Hall of Fame. I'm real low on this. I'm gonna say 17%. 17% that Cam Chancellor makes the Hall. And here's why. First off, this wasn't a dynasty, okay? It was a really nice run. They won one Super Bowl, they got to another, and we all know what happened. They didn't win it. Other than that, they were in the playoffs. They made a mark, no question. But in my opinion, Earl Thomas is going to the Hall of Fame. Richard Sherman is going to the Hall of Fame. And Bobby Wagner is going to the Hall of Fame. I think there's 3 players on that Seahawk defense that are Hall of Famers. Nobody else. Not Cliff Averill. Not Michael Bennett. No. Not KJ Wright. It's Bobby, it's Earl, and it's Sherm. And don't forget, Russell's going as well. So there's 4 players on that Seahawk team that are going to the Hall of Fame. That's a lot for one era of team, one team, and one era to get into the Hall. I think Cam's the odd man out. Here's where Cam can get in. The senior committee, down the road. I'm talking 30 years down the road. You know, every year they put a one senior committee guy in. Like this year, my boy from Idaho, great Packer legend, Jerry Kramer, finally getting in. Cam Chancellor, that's his best shot for me. He's a senior committee guy. I'll tell you this, though. In a sense, for Seahawks fans, it shouldn't matter all that much. Dude, he's getting in the Ring of Honor. Seahawks fans know how capable, they know how responsible Cam Chancellor was to what they did. And maybe he does get to the Hall. I'd certainly love it if he did. Okay, what else we got? Percentage the Mariners make the playoffs. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going to say it, 85%. And you know what? I could go higher, but I won't. 85%. Percentage Mitch Haniger makes the All-Star team. Mitchie. I don't think Mitchie the kid will. I'll say 30%. Look, Diaz is a shoo-in. Gene Segura should be a shoo-in. They're not taking 2 DHs, so Nelson Cruz is screwed, although he should be there. James Paxton's a maybe. Haniger's a maybe. I just think, nah. There's too many Yankees and Red Sox that'll get to go. Yep, seriously. Oh, this is a good one, and I'm shocked that Caleb didn't send it. This is a total Caleb percentage email. It says, the percentage that the Cleveland Browns will have a better winning percentage than the Cleveland Cavs next year. And it's not from Caleb. That's a total Caleb. Well, are the Browns going to have okay, how are the Cavs going to be next year? I mean, they're going to be awful, right? They got a rookie, Colin Sexton. I don't know what they're going to do with Kevin Love. I think they probably win 30, 35 games. But what are the Browns going to do? Can they go 6-10? Can they go 7-9? That might be a stretch. 5-11? I'll say 33%. No, I'll say 44%. That's going to be close. The Browns might have a better winning percentage than the Cavs next year in Cleveland. That's a good one. Johnny, what's the percentage that an Eastern Conference NBA team will win a championship in the next 5 years? Dang, dude. Well, it's going to be Boston or Philly. Can one of those teams win a title within the next 5 years? I think that's possible. I'll say 38%. 5 years? Is LeBron playing in 5 years? Right? Does Durant want to? I mean, where's Golden State in 5 years? Not doing what they're doing, right? At that point, this thing's kind of broken up a little bit. I mean, John Lennon and Paul McCartney could only hang out together in the Beatles for so long before they wanted to do their own thing. At some point, Justin Timberlake had to leave NSYNC, okay? At some point, Beyonce had to leave Destiny's Child, right? At some point, she just did. At some point, even with his own family, at some point, Michael Jackson had to leave the Jackson 5, right? So we'll see what happens with that deal. So I'll say 40. I'll go 40% that an Eastern Conference team will win a title in the next 5 years. 5 years is a lot of time in the NBA, guys. Next one, Johnny. What's the percentage that the Angels ruin Shohei Ohtani? Wouldn't that be something? I think they're handling this with little kitten gloves. I think they will be. I honestly, I think they will. I mean, they're one game over 500. If this was a big risk, I don't think they'd do it. 12%. I don't think. I mean, I think they'll be okay. I mean, gosh, that would be a major shame considering the investment they put to that kid. That kid's supposed to be Mike Trout's 1A. And they're supposed to hammer teams with Trout and Ohtani. And he got off to a good start, dude. Remember Ohtani the first month? He was knocking the cover off the ball, some of those shots, and throwing 100 miles per hour, striking dudes out. Hey, don't get me wrong. We wanted him in Seattle. We almost had him. The Mariners almost had him. They made a real strong play. But again, Seattle is not Los Angeles. What's the percentage the Mariners trade for Manny Machado? 0.0000. First off, the Mariners don't have anything Baltimore wants. Secondly, I'm sorry, I know Machado is the cat's meow. I get it. He's bitching. But, dude, I like Seager and his gold glove at third base. And are you kidding me? I'm not getting rid of Gene Segura at shortstop. The Mariners don't have a spot for him. Like, honestly, what? Trade Kyle Seager for him? Would Baltimore do that? And we move Machado back to third, but then they can't re-sign him. If you're getting Manny Machado and you're not the Cubs or an LA team or a New York team, I guess, you're renting him. He's a free agent, dude. So he's going to have a big deal this summer. If the Mariners brought Machado in, it'd be a rental. By the way, Caleb wants to give his respect to the dude who had the Cleveland Brown, Cleveland Cavalier one. He said that's a good one. Percentage that the A's get Machado. Now that's closer than the Mariners. Here's the deal, though. Billy Beane doesn't usually rent players. And Billy Beane can never afford Manny Machado. I'll tell you this. If the A's go on a mega run, and they're playing good ball right now, don't get me wrong, but if the A's can get to win, say, within 5 games of the Mariners at the deadline, I could maybe see Billy Beane trading a couple of pretty decent prospects to rent Manny Machado for one summer in Oakland. I can see that. I'll say 23%. Percentage, Johnny, that you will be sober at the end of the Mariner game tomorrow. Well, I'm actually at my brother's house tomorrow celebrating the 4th of July. I will be at the Mariner game on Thursday. And the percentage that I'm going to be sober at the end of it, that's negative 100%. There is no chance, in my opinion. I'm going to have fun that night. Good stuff. Percentages, ballgame show. Johnny, you are wrong. Billy Beane used to rent players all the time. You're probably right, they're your team, but I don't remember the A's renting a big player for a playoff push and then losing him. I mean, did they? I mean, I can't remember that, but maybe they did. Maybe they did. They certainly have a lot of bullpen work. A lot of. They've had good farm systems in the past. Johnny, what's the percentage you will watch more than an hour of Wimbledon? Dude, I really don't watch tennis. If I watch more than an hour of Wimbledon, I'll say 6%. I mean, I'm going to sound like a jerk off here, a dillweed. But if I'm watching more than an hour, it's one, there's like a really attractive player because I'm just such a shallow idiot and I want to see the hot girl play tennis. Or it's like the championship and it's Roger Federer versus Nadal, but I really don't even care about that. Plus Wimbledon, it's in London. It's a mega time difference from the Pacific time zone that I live in. So I got to wake up at like 5 in the morning to watch tennis. Dude, I don't think I'll watch 20 minutes of it. An hour watching tennis for me is a long time. Percentage Earl Thomas signs a contract extension with the Seahawks. You ask this every week. And every week I feel like it's a lower percentage. 25%. That means there's a 75% chance I don't think Earl Thomas is a Hawk this year. That's hard for me to say. That's sad. Appreciate the percentages being played. Brought to you by Knee-High Enterprises. You need a decal put on a vehicle for your work? Call Knee-High Enterprises. They make vinyl signs. They do a great job with banners, putting decals on vehicles. Knee-High Enterprises does that. So at some point, you're going to want to get that done. At some point, you're going to want to call Knee-High Enterprises. Appreciate you.
It's time now for your LeGrand Ride weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, a low of 46 degrees with mostly clear skies. For tomorrow, a high near 86 degrees with partly cloudy conditions. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low near 44 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny throughout the day with a high near 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by LeGrand Ride, regional leaders in outdoor recreation and weather. For extensive, accurate information about trails, snow, and everything weather-related, visit legrandride.com.
Looking to make a splash in your health this summer? Mountain Valley Therapy is the home of the only therapeutic pool in all of Union County. And our state-of-the-art facility is perfect for any problem you have. Whether it's post-surgical, chronic pain, or arthritis, our therapy staff is perfectly suited to get you back to experiencing the full joy of living. So, before that summer vacation pops up, talk to your doctor about a referral or call us at 541-962-0830 to see us about starting treatment at Mountain Valley Therapy.
Johnny Ballgame here for my team at Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Let me begin by telling you they have the ultimate collection of recliner chairs. I'm talking captain seats, my friends. The home viewing experience for sports, it's never been better. We all watch games from home. Maximize this by sitting in the most comfortable chair possible, and you can find that seat at Northwest Furniture and Mattress, the best selection in Eastern Oregon. Take watching the game to another level. Northwest Furniture and Mattress, downtown LeGrand.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 101,000 here in Oregon. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline, skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens. This message presented by the Oregon School Activities Association and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
Northwest Furniture and Mattress text line. Caleb says, Johnny, you're an idiot. What do you watch more of, tennis or the Tour de France? Dude, that's a tough one. Isn't the Tour de France, like, coming up? I mean, I don't even know when it is, man. At least I can tell you that Wimbledon every year's late June, early July. At least I know when it is. U.S. Open is in September. Tennis tournament, U.S. Open, Flushing Meadows, New York. Get it? Yeah. At least I can tell you sometimes where the Grand Slam major tennis tournaments At least I know when they are. Tour de France, I think it's in the summer. And honestly, I haven't given the Tour de France any love pretty much since the whole Lance Armstrong thing, whatever. And I'm a Lance Armstrong fan. And I'm sorry to say that. I get it. He cheated his tail off. He absolutely cheated. He put performance-enhancing drugs into his body so he could pedal his bike like a superhuman. And he took all a mega portion of his fame and his fortune, and he became the greatest American cancer research donor. Raised more money. Here's what I'm trying to say. Lance Armstrong was responsible for raising more money for cancer research than any other human ever. And I get it. He cheated cycling to do it. And he took his fame and his fortune and the Live Strong movement. Nike paid him a gazillion dollars, but Nike also donated a gazillion dollars to cancer research. And Lance Armstrong got more people to donate money to cancer research than anybody ever. And I get it. He went about it the wrong way. But you know what? If he wasn't winning those titles and beating cancer, no one would have given the money they gave. I'm sorry, they wouldn't have. People supported Lance Armstrong because they thought he was an American hero, a cancer survivor, and he asked you, give money. We need it. Lance Armstrong did not take your cancer donation dollars and go buy cool stuff with it. No. Lance Armstrong donated a big portion of his own money to cancer research. If that makes me a bad guy liking him, then I'll be the bad guy. I've lost family members to cancer. I know everybody has. That's a big thing. And if that thing can ever get fixed and when we can figure that out, that's going to be a huge, I don't know what's going to be bigger. Well, walking on the moon? Get out of here. Let's cure cancer, dude. And Lance Armstrong was more responsible for finding a way to cure cancer than anybody else. And if he had to cheat and take drugs to pedal his bike a little faster, I'm okay with it. Totally okay with it. If you think Lance Armstrong's a bag, then you know what? I don't think you're looking at it the right way. I don't care. I'm not a passionate cyclist either, so maybe that's where I'm coming from. But no, I don't watch the Tour de France. And I don't watch a lot of tennis either. Sorry, I just don't. What do you guys think? I wanted to ask you and get your take on the Terrell Owens situation, because he made the announcement today, I will give a Hall of Fame speech, but I won't give a Hall of Fame speech at the Hall of Fame. I'm going back to my college, UTC, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. And he's going to give his speech right there. And it's going to be free and open to the public, and it's going to be great for the people of Chattanooga and Tennessee and his family. They're going to go there. They're going to have an awesome celebration. Great. Is this going to happen now more often? Are players who get enshrined to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, are they going to now say, you know what, nah, I'm good. I'm going to give my own speech at my own high school or college and invite everybody I want. Are they going to do that now? I think part of this for Terrell Owens, and he's had a tough go, and I'm sympathetic towards a lot of things that Terrell Owens has been through in his life. I am. But I think part of this with T.O. is he's mad that he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, Terrell Owens, it took 3 years to get in. And I was the first guy saying, like, how is T.O. not in? Are you kidding me? He's a top 3 or 4 in every major statistical category. Oh, and yeah, did you just watch the guy play? The most physically dominating wide receiver of his time. Terrell Owens, you could argue, started a new trend of wide receiver. I mean, give a little bit of credit there to Michael Irvin as well, like a punishing, physically specimen wide receiver. And that's kind of what the playmaker was. And Terrell Owens was like Michael Irvin 2.0. He was bigger, he was way faster, and he was way stronger. Terrell Owens was like that first wide receiver that I remember seeing where muscles were popping out of his pads. And he didn't have great hands, but he didn't need great hands. He made guys miss. He ran guys over. He had big plays in big games. Owens. He caught it. You know, he had big plays, dude. And a receptions record. We had like 20, 21 catches in a game, if you remember that one year. I mean, did you watch him play? He's the first ballot guy, and he wasn't in. He gets in on the third ballot. And I was looking forward to Terrell Owens' speech. I was looking forward to Randy Moss's speech at the same ceremony. So I don't know. I don't know why he's doing this. But Terrell Owens has made a lot of people question certain things he's done in his career. I mean, I heard Stephen A. talking about it, and I'm sure you know. I mean, the Terrell Owens story is well documented. If you've seen any type of program, documentary on T.O.'s life, I mean, his dad, who he really never knew, lived across the street from him with his family. His dad had an affair with his wife, who had an affair with Terrell's mom. And he lived across the street. And Terrell knew that was his dad, and the guy wouldn't stinking acknowledge him. And he lived across the street. He had an affair with T.O.'s mom. T.O. was the result of it, and he lived his whole life across the street from Terrell Owens, knowing that was his stinking kid, and he showed nothing. Just showed no existence, and Terrell knew about it. He knew that was his dad. And he saw his dad across the street with his real family. You know how hard that must have been for that kid growing up? His mom wasn't really around. He was raised by his grandma, and that was it. It was a tough deal. I wasn't raised like that. I'm not going to pretend that I know how, and I'm not going to give him some type of guilt trip or say, "Oh, I would have done it differently," or "You should have done this." I've never been in that situation. I don't know. I'm not going to hate the guy on that. I think he's misunderstood in a lot of ways. He's had a tough go of it. It's not easy to grow up in that circumstance, in my opinion, and get to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and make millions of dollars and be world famous like Terrell Owens is. I just think it's odd. And good for him. If he wants to have this Hall of Fame ceremony at his home, his college there, great. It's never happened before. I hope this doesn't spawn a new trend. I like Hall of Fame weekend. So for me personally, I wish he was in Canton that week with the yellow jacket, with Randy Moss and Ray Lewis and Jerry Kramer and what was it, Brian Urlacher. I'd like him there with his class because I watch those speeches. I'm a geek, dude. I nerd out with Hall of Fame speeches. I think they're great. And what is ESPN going to televise T.O.'s speech at the auditorium on the campus of the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga? They probably will. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. But, for me, I wish he was there with everybody else. Kind of an odd deal. Goss Motors, downtown LeGrand, full-service body shop, 24-hour towing. You name it, they have it. Cars, trucks, SUVs, new and pre-owned vehicles, GMCs, Chevys. Test drive a vehicle this weekend at MJ Goss Motors. Make that your first choice. They've been supporting this show a long time, and I'd appreciate it if you would give them that first look. Ballgame Show, Benchy.
Listen up and listen in all the time to your favorite news talk station, Super Talk 1450 and 1490, the talk of Eastern Oregon. It's online streaming, available at supertalkradio.com. Whether smartphone, tablet, or computers, stream your Super Talk when and where you want it. Streaming on Super Talk Radio, sponsored by Nate Conklin State Farm Insurance, LeGrand. Let Nate Conklin and his team of highly trained professionals give you the peace of mind and value for all your insurance needs.
Too old, I'm too old to cut the mustard anymore.
Hold on. First off, you aren't that old, but you do make a mighty mean sweet hot mustard there at Joe Bean's Coffee.
Here's the good news. You can finally buy that sweet hot mustard you've been enjoying all these years on those fabulous sandwiches at Joe Bean's Coffee.
Al's Sweet Hot Mustard, now available by the half pound. Joe Bean's Coffee in downtown LeGrand.
MJ Goss Motors Company is proud to be your LeGrand, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealer. With an extensive inventory of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, their friendly staff will help you find the perfect vehicle for you. Goss Motors is a full-service dealership which includes 24-hour towing, a body shop, parts, and service. So stop in today and check out the new and pre-owned inventory and ask them about their current offers and factory incentives. MJ Goss Motors in downtown LeGrand. Quick, friendly service since 1922.
Is your check engine light on in your vehicle? If so, head to Island City Speed Lube. Yes, in addition to the fastest oil changes in Eastern Oregon, Island City Speed Lube can diagnose whatever issue your vehicle may have. They also offer free popcorn and coffee while you wait. But don't plan on waiting too long. Like I said, it's the fastest oil change in town. Brock and his team have made a commitment to you, the customer, to make certain you're taken care of and given a fair price. Located next to the C&M Country Store in Island City.
I don't know if you caught this yesterday, but if I could have a word, I'm going to do fill in the blank a little later with my boy Shay. But if I could have a fill in the blank, a word on, I guess, how I feel about the Trailblazers signing Seth Curry, brother of Steph, I would just say underwhelming. This whole Blazer offseason has been underwhelming. I think they gave, Steph Curry, a little over $5 million, 2 years, something like that. He's making $3 million this year, I think. I mean, the Blazers continue just to have these small guards. I don't know how that's going to help. You saw it hurt him in the playoffs. Yeah, I guess he can shoot. Maybe that means the Warriors take it easy on the Blazers because Steph's brother. I don't know. I mean, I'd rather have Shabazz Napier. I'd rather have Ed Davis. Heck, I'd rather have Pat Connaughton than Nick Stauskas. Those guys are, I read an article on Blazers Edge. Those guys are basically a wash. I mean, again, I think the Blazers, for me, and maybe I'm a Debbie Downer on this, whatever. I think the best case scenario is they struggle this year and they fire the general manager, Neil O'Shea, who's butchered this thing left and right, wasting the prime of Dame and CJ. I don't think they're bringing Nurk back. So that's my opinion on the Blazers. I'm willing. I'm okay. Look, I'd rather not make the playoffs than be the 8th seed and get swept by the Warriors or Rockets. I would. I'd rather tank. It's what happens in the NBA now. Last year, 10 teams were tanking. We followed them on this show. A third of the league didn't want to win a game. That's how pathetic it was. But like I said, hour number 1, the NBA isn't and never will be about the regular season. Doesn't mean jack. Nobody even follows the regular season. It's tough too. You follow your team. But, heck, when the season begins in October, dude, you're watching football. You got your fantasy team. You ain't watching NBA hoops on a Saturday night in October? Hell no. 5 o'clock right around the corner. Let's start with some news.
Serving Eastern Oregon for over 75 years. This is KLBM LeGrand and KBKR Baker City. Super Talk Radio, the talk of Eastern Oregon.
Support for ICE, Intel on Russia. I'm Jan Johnson. On a visit to West Virginia to salute American troops, President Trump is giving a shout-out to the immigration enforcers who've taken a lot of heat under his zero-tolerance border policies.
ICE goes in there, and they go in there, and sometimes they have to go in swinging. They don't mind. They're tough. And then I hear Democrats saying, we want to abandon ICE. We're not abandoning ICE, and we're not abandoning our law enforcement. Just the opposite.
The president again warning that illegal immigration leads to what he calls nests of MS-13 gang members. The Senate Intelligence Committee is out with a report that backs earlier findings from the intel community that Russia meddled in the presidential campaign and favored Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. Democratic Senator Ed Markey says it's a bipartisan conclusion.
Much of this ultimately had to be negotiated between Republican and Democratic staffs, Republican and Democratic members. It would not have actually been put out this afternoon unless the facts were agreed to by both sides of the aisle.
CNN is reporting that EPA Chief Scott Pruitt, while under scrutiny for possible ethics and spending abuses, went directly to President Trump to ask him to fire Attorney General Jeff Sessions and give Pruitt the job. Correspondent Caitlin Collins says the administration won't weigh in.
They say the EPA will not be commenting on anonymous sources who are working to distract Americans from the Trump administration's accomplishments on regulatory certainty and environmental stewardship.
2 defendants have each pleaded no contest to 36 counts of involuntary manslaughter in a fire at an Oakland warehouse in 2016. The warehouse had been illegally converted to living space, and it was host to an unpermitted concert when the deadly inferno broke out. I'm Jan Johnson.
This advertisement is brought to you by DeWitt. Are you drowning in debt? Are you struggling to make minimum payments? Did you know that on average a household with at least one credit card struggles with over $10,000 in credit card debt? If this sounds like you, know that it's not your fault. Credit card debt happens to good people. Credit card companies lure you in with low introductory rates and low minimum payments. Before you know it, you're in over your head. We've helped thousands of good people just like you become debt-free with our Debt Reset program that will dramatically reduce your debt down to a fraction of what you owe. Our Debt Reset program is customized to get you debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months with one low monthly payment. If you owe over $10,000 in credit card debt or even personal loans, call 800-832-1507 now. There are no upfront fees or out-of-pocket expenses. You don't pay a dime until we succeed. Call now to see how the Debt Reset program can work for you. 800-832-1507. That's 800-832-1507. Again, 800-832-1507.
It's time now for your LeGrand Ride weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, a low of 46 degrees with mostly clear skies. For tomorrow, a high near 86 degrees with partly cloudy conditions. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low near 44 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny throughout the day with a high near 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Grand Ronde Hospital. As one of Union County's largest private employers, we proudly support our local economy with stable family wage jobs.
Grand Ronde Hospital.
Now to the opioid epidemic, killing tens of thousands of Americans every year.
Nationwide, the opioid crisis is raging.
Opioid addiction, a national epidemic that's ravaging our communities. Here in Oregon, Greg Walden listens. He learns. In Washington, he takes action, leading Congress to pass sweeping legislation to provide critical resources to help families and patients suffering from addiction to get the help they need, stop dangerous drugs from coming into our country, and arm our police with the tools to fight this menace.
This is Greg Walden. I've heard the tragic stories throughout Oregon, and I've met with families and advocates and medical providers and our law enforcement who are on the front lines of this fight, and they need our help. Every day I'm focused on fighting this epidemic, and we're making important progress, and in a bipartisan way. I'm Greg Walden, and I approve this message because far too many of us have been touched by this epidemic, and I'm working to change that.
Greg Walden, working for us. Paid for by Walden for Congress, Inc.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care. I ever get back, so let's root for the home team. They don't win, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
The Johnny Ballgame
All right,
Show.
bench warmers, pub and grill, we appreciate you. Let's see it, benchies tonight. Rooting on the Seattle Mariners as they open the first game, I believe, of a 3-game series against the Angels. Newsflash, Shohei Ohtani has been activated from the disabled list. He's going to play tonight. He's going to DH and hit 6th in the Angels lineup. Something to pay attention there right now. A couple of little things. Julian Edelman has been denied his appeal. He's going to serve the 4-game PED suspension. The Phoenix Suns and their best player, Devin Booker, are closing in on an extension for a max deal. That's big for Phoenix. That's big. Devin Booker could have done the free agent thing. He could have went on the tour. He could have went to a super team or whatever, and he's saying, you know what? I got a really good thing. Honestly, and I don't know Devin Booker's situation personally. I'm just imagining he's like 23. He's single. He's a mega millionaire, and he's living in Phoenix. Some serious sights in Phoenix, if you know what I mean. That's a pretty good gig in life. I'd love if ESPN radio in Phoenix called me. I'm sorry, but bye-bye. They got every major pro team. They even got hockey, and they got Pac-12. Phoenix is a great market for sports, dude. And again, a lot of great scenery. I could do Phoenix easily, but Devin Booker, no one, of course he's going to. And they just drafted 8, and no question, Phoenix is on the come up. That's not where I want to go for your Paisano's Pizza top story. Let's have some fun. It's a Tuesday that feels like a Friday. Let's get after it this hour. Paisano's Pizza top story. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Boogie Cousins going to the Golden State Warriors because I really don't know where to go on this. And you tell me, sports fan, what do you want players to do? Because I always thought when a guy is willing to take less money, and I'm talking way less money, like 75% less than his market value, to be a part of something special, to be a part of the greatest NBA team on paper ever assembled, to win a championship. I always thought that was kind of the American way. Hey, he took less money. All he wants to do is win, right? That's what you say with this Tim Tebow stuff, right? All he does is win. I don't care about stats. I don't care about money. He's a winner. Well, that's what DeMarcus Cousins is doing. Look, it stinks for a lot of things. I get it. When you have a player who should be making $25 million, who's willing to play for $5 million 1 year, where he can rehab half the year, join the team in January or February, be able to be full go by the playoffs, and as they cruise control to what will be their 4th title in 5 years. Michael never did it. Bird never did it. Magic never did it. You got to go back to like Bill Russell to have 4 titles in 5 years. Shaq and Kobe, did Shaq do it, but Kobe didn't? Shaq had titles in what, 2000, 2001, 2002, and then he didn't get his next one until 2006. So, yeah, 4 in 5 years. That's what that Warrior team's going to do. So I don't get it. So that's not cool. You don't want him to take less. So you want him to go to the Orlando Magic and make $32 million a year and to never be heard from again, to never be able to win a playoff series, and just kind of collect. So you want him to get the money? You tell me, because sports fans, you stinkers, you contradict yourself with everything. I got a guy who's leaving me text messages here on our YouTube page, and you can go there and look. He goes by A Bathing Shark. And A Bathing Shark said, and I quote, "DeMarcus Cousins is such a bum. I have no respect for him. Kevin Durant's decision led to more cowards following him. So he's a coward. Because he's taking $5 million a year when he could be making $30 to be a part of something special and be a part of the best team ever assembled and win a title. That makes him a coward? Oh, so he has to go to the Orlando Magic and beat the Warriors. Man, you got a high-ass expectation for old Boogie, don't you? Spend 5 minutes in his world in the NBA and tell me, New Orleans wasn't a contender. Stop. I get it. He had a good thing there with Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis. It's great. That's second-round material in the West. And I don't remember New Orleans offering him anything. I don't get it. Like, what do you want him to do? Look, the NBA is never about the regular season. Nobody cares on November 14th that the Orlando Magic are playing the Milwaukee Bucks on a Wednesday night. Nobody cares. The NBA is about April, May, and June. That's it. Let's be honest. Starting that damn season in mid-October? Are you kidding me? Pac-12 play starts in football. My NFL season is 6-7 weeks young. I got my fantasy teams. I got no time on my sports plate for the NBA on November 18th. Hell no, man. For most American sports fans, I get NBA's got its diehards. Great. Most sports fans, now it's college football, it's NFL football, and the NBA takes a back seat until, honestly, March Madness is over? I'm not even big into the NBA in March. I'm doing college basketball. The NBA dominates my show basically mid-April to mid-July. That's the NBA's time. And then mid-July, we start pumping for football season, and we don't really do much with the NBA until after football season. A couple things here and there, sure. So I just don't get it. 963-4122. I mean, this guy said DeMarcus Cousins is a bum. I have no respect for him. Kevin Durant's decision led to more cowards following him. So you're a coward for taking less money to be a part of something special. I can't fault DeMarcus Cousins for wanting to do that. What are you going to do? He's willing to play for $5 million? Myers Leonard makes twice as much as Boogie Cousins. Ed Davis is making 4.4, Boogie's making 5.3, and Boogie dropped 26 and 13 with 4.5 assists last year. You have any idea the year Boogie was having before he got hurt? He was going 26, 13, and 4.5. He's a big. He was averaging 5 assists a game. Are you kidding me? And he's willing to do this? Again, I don't know what you want. A bathing shark. This other guy says, Johnny, he ridiculed Durant for his decision. Durant didn't want to play with a ball-dominant point guard. I get it. Cousins had a good thing going on in New Orleans. Him and AD together was a very bright future. You're not his agent. You're certainly not his mother, and you're certainly not his dad. Okay, this isn't Burger King, dude. You can't have it your way. You don't get to choose what DeMarcus Cousins wants to do with his life. I get it. You can have your opinion based on the decisions he makes, but you're calling him a coward for taking less money, wanting to be a part of the best team ever? That's what I'm thinking. If I'm Steve Kerr, that's my goal. And it's not about regular season victories. I don't even know if it's about playoff dominance. It's, look, we have the greatest collection of talent this league has ever seen. Let's not waste it. What'd Sonny say to Caladriel or see in the movie A Bronx Tale? The worst thing in life is wasted talent. That's what if I'm Steve Kerr, that's my message with that team. Let's not waste this situation. Let's be the best team this league has ever seen, and let's win 4 titles in 5 years. Have I seen an NFL team do that in my lifetime? No, I haven't. I haven't seen an NBA team do it. Have I seen a baseball team do it? I guess I saw the Yankees. They won titles in what? 96, 98, 99, 2000. They won 4 and 5. Is that the only time I've seen that in my life? 4 titles in 5 years? That's what the Warriors are doing. And again, I think you got to go back to Bill Russell in the Celtics when there was 8 teams in the NBA. 2 rounds of playoffs to see that done again. They're totally different now. So I just don't get it. I mean, this guy goes on to say, Johnny, with Drew Holiday shining out of nowhere, Rondo playing out of his mind, Anthony Davis was truly his best friend and imagined all the championships they would win together. If Anthony Davis is going to bed at night dreaming of championships that him and Boogie are going to win, well, you know what? That's just that. It's a dream, dude. That is not a reality. And again, you don't get to make his decisions for him. He says, Johnny, it's just not competitive, and that upsets me as a basketball fan. I mean, you could say that it is competitive. He wants to go to the Warriors because he wants to compete for a championship. He wants to win a title. He's that competitive. He can't handle losing in the second round of the playoffs. And by the way, DeMarcus Cousins has never played in a playoff game. Not a one. So yeah, he's a little fed up. He's a little fed up. The Celtics gave him an offer. Well, okay, he didn't want to go to Boston. This is America, man. He's a free agent. He can go where he wants. Again, I don't love it. Are you kidding me? We know who's going to win the title now. The season, like what? I mean, what is it worth to you? Even if you're a Warrior fan, it's like rooting for Goliath. Some sports fans do that. I've never been the sports fan that roots for Goliath. I never will. Yeah, Goliath. Kick his ass, Goliath. Yeah, smash David. Ha, ha, ha. Goliath. Goliath. Yeah, Goliath. Kick his ass, Seabass. Like, who roots for Goliath? Like, not a lot of folks do. I guess unless he's from your hometown. You know, I mean, Yankee fans root for Goliath. They're Yankee fans. Sure, good for them. But I mean, you want him to go to Orlando? You want him to go to Milwaukee? Boogie Cousins? Eh? Where do you want him to go? I mean, Houston can't afford him. Okay, I don't know what went on with the Lakers. They look like they're probably going elsewhere. I can understand wanting to work with really talented people. You know, I can understand be willing to take less and use it as a learning experience. Look, DeMarcus Cousins doesn't exactly play well with others, right? He's had a lot of issues just as a teammate. Gets in fights. He's kind of a bad boy in the league. Maybe this is good for him moving forward. He goes with, and by the way, it's a rehab stint. They're not, like everyone's like, oh, the Warriors are going to have 5 All-Stars. No, they won't. Why'd you say that? Because Boogie Cousins ain't playing until January, maybe even after the All-Star break. He's going to sit in street clothes on the end of the bench, and he's going to soak it up, and he's going to learn, and he's going to be chomping at the bit to go help this team win its 4th title in 5 years. And by the playoffs roll around, they can ease him into things, and yeah, it's insane. I mean, it's 5 dudes on one team that all played in the All-Star game just the past year. Again, I don't love it either, but it's that dude's choice, and I can respect it. Really, I mean, he's taking less money. To me, that's the difference between DeMarcus Cousins and Kevin Durant. It's the money. $5 million? Chump change for his market value. That'd be like you're a teacher, okay? You're a teacher, and let's say you're making $43,000 a year. You really want to work at this one particular school and teach this one particular subject. So you're willing to work that year, just 1 year at this school for, let's say, $18,000 when you're worth $42,000. But you really want to work at this school because it's a learning experience. It's got the best test scores in the state. You want to teach those particular kids, and you're just going to do it for a year because you want to learn, and then after that, you'll go back and you'll get your market value. You're going to disrespect somebody for making that decision? I think that's what Boogie's doing. Again, yeah, Golden State was going to win it anyway, right? I mean, and again, maybe it backfires on him. Maybe Boogie is a total pain and he can't get along and they end up dismissing him. I don't know. I mean, think about it. They're paying him $5 million. If Boogie does anything stupid, if this thing goes awry, they'll simply cut him and give him his $5 million to get the hell out of there, make like a tree, and get out of here. That's what they'll do. I don't think that'll happen because I think Boogie's going to go there and he's going to mind his P's and he's going to mind his Q's. And he's going to want to say, help me. You know, I'm a guy in this league who's been to all-star games. How about 6 in a row, DeMarcus Cousins? I've been to 6 consecutive all-star games. Or what? No, I'm sorry. Was it 4? 4 or 5? 15, 16, 17, 18. Been to 4 straight all-star games. And I played in Sacramento and I played in New Orleans. A lot of people have never even seen me play a game. And I've never once played in an NBA playoff game. And I'm sick of it. And I don't want to go to Orlando. I don't want to team up with Greek Freak in Milwaukee. I don't want to go back to Sacramento. I don't want to go somewhere where I don't want to go to D.C. and play with John Wall. No. I like Steph. We're friends. You know, Clay seems cool. I like Durant. Me and Dre, I want to play for a guy like Steve Kerr. I want to live in Silicon Valley. I got business ventures, man. I want to get in on some stuff here. I'm talking to Durant, and he's telling me how big a deal it is for him to live in the Bay Area because he's right there. Uber, Google, Amazon, everything. I want that to be me. I want to get my portfolio going. Basketball just isn't everything for me. But winning a championship is a box that I need checked, not just for my career, but for my life, dude. I need to check the box that says, did you win a title? And if it means I have to take $5 million to win one and lose out on about $23 million this year, yeah, I'm willing to do that. It's tough for me not to respect that guy. Again, I don't love it either. What's Chicago Bulls fans saying now? Mid-90s. Oh, the Bulls, we would have beat the hell out of them. We would have swept those guys. What are you saying now? Because if anything, I will tell you this, basketball fan who's really down on this, who's saying, I don't even want to watch the NBA this year. I hate this stuff. Let me just say this. if this thing clicks and it gels and they get along and they're able to share the ball, you're going to see next April, May, June, when the playoffs roll around, when stuff gets serious, okay, you're going to see possibly the greatest collection of talent ever formed in that league in its history. Like, you have a chance to say and see, hey, I saw the best team ever. They're not going to be able to keep Boogie after a year. And if they do keep Boogie, they're going to have to get rid of Clay. Okay? Like, this is the 1 year because a guy like Boogie's like, you know what? I want to be a part of that. Hell, I'll play for $5 million. Durant didn't say that. Durant wants his market value, and I respect that. I would too. If I'm going to sign up and do this, no, you got to pay me what I'm worth. I don't know what you do for a living, but you want what you're worth. And if you don't get what you're worth, you're talking to your boss and you're saying, you know what, I'm out, or else. You got to pay me more. Durant, wasn't saying, hey, I just want to go there so bad. Hey, pay me whatever, man. We'll work that out. Now, Boogie's saying, I'll play for $5 million. That's all they could afford. You might have a chance to sit there and say, hey, I saw the best team ever. Maybe you're too young. You don't remember the Bulls of the 80s. Maybe you don't remember the faux Sixers, or the Bad Boys, or the Bird Celtics, or the Showtime Lakers, or Russell and Havlicek. You don't remember Wilt and Jerry West. You don't remember some of those teams. This team, dude, that's as good as you're going to get, maybe better ever. Might be the best ever. Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. That's your Paisano's Pizza top story. Remember, giant stromboli, toasted subs, appetizers, salads, and the best pizza list you'll find in Eastern Oregon. Get out there. By the way, we're giving away a gift certificate to Paisano's Pizza for our next segment. We do it every Tuesday. Blue Mountain Barber Tuesday Trivia. Topic today, Seattle Mariners Trivia. If you want to get in first, you call the number right now, 541-963-4122. You call right now. You don't know the question, so it might be hard, but at least you're first up. Keep calling. If you get a busy signal, just wait till the next guy hangs up. We'll do that next. Blue Mountain Barber, Tuesday Trivia. Don't miss it. We'll be right back. Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. I flippin' love ya.
McDonald's McCafe frozen lemonades are the perfect way to escape. If your heart is racing, chill out with a frozen classic lemonade. Grab some excitement with a frozen strawberry lemonade. And when you want a little fun, let loose with both. McCafe frozen lemonades are back at McDonald's. And right now, any small McCafe drink is just $2 on McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu. And a small McCafe hot coffee is just $1. Where will your sip take you? Excludes iced coffee. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo meal.
When it comes to servicing your campers, trailers, and RVs, no business in the Valley competes with Kurt's RV Service and Repair. Located on Felinda Loop in Island City, Kurt's RV Service and Repair can handle any issue that needs fixing. And don't forget about the standard checkups. You may want Kurt and his crew to make sure everything is A-OK for your RV before that next big vacation. Kurt guarantees all work and no project is too big or too small. Any issue that needs a look no further than Kurt's RV Service and Repair.
A time of loss is a time for families to gather together for strength and comfort.
It was a sudden loss for all of us.
Fortunately, we had each other.
You have us as well. With a range of choices and services available, we've been helping families through their time of loss for generations. Daniel's Chapel of the Valley, serving the family for generations.
Daniel's Knopp Funeral, Cremation, and Life Celebration Center on 7th Street in LeGrand.
Johnny Ballgame Show brought to you by Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Like I said, get to Benchies for every Mariner game. You got happy hour till 6 p.m., so all my 9-to-5ers, you're off work, you're wondering where to go on a Tuesday that feels like a Friday? Nobody's working tomorrow, dude. Head to Benchies and watch the M's open up a set against the Angels tonight. Shohei Ohtani, DHing, hitting 6th. We do this every Tuesday. And by the way, real quick, my boy Shay, okay? You're going to get used to this guy. He's coming on every Tuesday. You know, he knows a lot about sports. I think he thinks he knows a lot more about sports than I do. So we're going to play a game with him every Tuesday. Fill in the blank, and I'm just going to try to bust him on some stuff. It's going to be great. It's the first episode of that. That's after Blue Mountain Barber Trivia on a Tuesday. We do have our first contestant holding. This gentleman is, let's say he's an avid ball game listener. His name's Mike. He's living in LeGrand. Mike, you would say how many days a week you listen to this show, bro?
If you had it 7 days a week, 7 days a week.
Mikey, you're making me blush, you son of a... All right, man. Okay, I have at stake. I have a free haircut at Blue Mountain Barbers, and I have a $25 certificate to Paisano's Pizza in Baker City, dude. You're going to love this. Paisano's is the best pizza around. I love those guys.
Great pizza.
You can totally taste the difference. They use fresh, real ingredients. It's bitchin'. Okay, Mike, I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to give me the answer. If you win it, we got a one and done. If you lose it, the phone line will be open for another contestant. Mikey, are you ready for the question?
I'm ready.
Okay, Seattle Mariners. Mike, King Felix ranks first in team history in wins by a pitcher. King has 168 wins. First all-time in Mariner history. Mike, who is second? Name the Mariner pitcher who has the second most wins in team history.
Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson. Mikey, here we let's see. Randy Johnson. Mikey.
Like my wife always says, not tonight.
Incorrect, Mikey. You are not going to win this week. I appreciate you, Mike. Good stuff. So you know it's not King. You know it's not the unit. 541-963-4122. Do you have a guesstimate on this sucker? Who ranks second in Mariner team history for wins? Give me the pitcher's name. Again, you know it's not King. You know it's not Randy. 963-4122. We still have lines open. I wouldn't think it would be this tough. Hey, I got Paisano's Pizza here, a $25 certificate. You're not going to want to pass this sucker up, along with a free haircut from Blue Mountain Barbers. Like I said, King Felix, and honestly, I was surprised that that King had this many, by the way. I mean, maybe I misspoke. I was surprised that King was first, and kind of by the amount that he was first, because King Felix has been screwed over so many times. I can't even remember how many King Felix no decisions I've watched. You know, they're up, they pull King in the 8th, they're up 2-1, they lose. Or they pull King in the 8th and they're down 1-0. He's pitched this magnificent gem of a ball game. They take him out after 8 innings, they're trailing 1-0, they lose 1-0. And it's kind of odd, it's kind of ironic, I guess, that the 1 year this year that they could have used him, heck, as much as any year they've had him, he's having a tough time. No one wants to take a shot at this. Are you guys kidding me? 541-963-4122. I don't care if you've won it before. Callers coming in. I need to know who ranks second in Mariner history in wins. King Felix is number 1, and Mike gave you number 3, Randy Johnson, who is sandwiched between King and the unit. Next caller, welcome to the program. Caller, what's your name, dude?
Craig.
Craig, win this for me, man, and let me send you to Paisanos and Blue Mountain Barbers.
It's not Jamie Moyer, is it?
Hell yeah, it is, Craig. Jamie Moyer, 145 wins for the Mariners. And the hilarious thing about Moyer is he didn't become a Mariner until he was 33, you know? I mean,
that's why I was doubtful, but
it's crazy, man.
Sounded like the right name.
Yeah, he pitched 11 seasons for the M's. From 33, and they got rid of him when he was almost 44. They traded him to Philly, if you can remember. He was on that Phillies World Series team in 08. Yeah, he's got 140 wins or something with the Mariners there, and only 3 pitchers in Mariner history have over 100 wins. King, Moyer, and Randy. Freddie Garcia is 4th with 76 wins. Again, it's the Mariners. There's not a hell of a lot to be excited about there, but
Moyer pitched for everybody.
Yeah, right? I mean, I love Jamie Moyer. I mean, I could do a whole segment on him. Craig, right?
Yep.
All right, man. This will be available, Craig, at Pacific Empire Radio here, I believe on Thursday. We will not be open tomorrow, as you can obviously imagine.
Yep, no problem.
Hey, good stuff on that.
Thanks.
Jamie Moyer, 145 wins. I knew I was going to bust at least one dude on that. And Mike, you son of a, you took the bait, dude. I wanted you to. Mike, I knew you were going to say Randy. I knew it. A lot of those times, and if you listen to Blue Mountain Barber Tuesday Trivia on this show, a lot of the times, I'll just be honest, it's not going to be the mega obvious. I'm going to try to trick you a little because I know most of you, I do the same thing. You Google the damn thing on your phone and you call in. That's why I give the first person, which is typically Mike, because he's constantly listening and we love him. He calls in and he's not looking at his phone because he doesn't know the question. If I asked the question and then went to the break, I give everybody 4 minutes to look it up. I can't do it, Head to Blue Mountain Barbers. It's where everybody's going to get their haircut. Great prices. They put sports on the TV. It's a good old-fashioned barbershop. Great atmosphere, great vibe. Haircuts, shaves. You can buy product, beard trims, bald dudes. Get your head shaved. Get that sucker bicked there. They do neck shaves, massages. It's just a great experience. Blue Mountain Barbers on Adams Avenue. And the owner, Galen Miller, is the biggest Oregon State Beaver baseball fan I know. Galen Miller celebrates a Beaver CWS championship the way I would celebrate a Seahawk Super Bowl. So he is on cloud 9 right now. We're going to get Pat Casey, Oregon State Beaver coach, on this show very soon. He comes on all the time. He's a great guy, and as soon as things calm down a little bit, I'll bug him. But we'll get Pat Casey on the show. I sent him a text after they won. And he texted back saying, hey, thanks. So that was really cool. Pat Casey's a good guy, good coach, and does a terrific job. This is going to be a fun segment. If you're listening to this show, the next segment we do is the first edition of what we hope is a hit segment on this show, where I'm going to bust this dude who thinks he knows a lot about sports, and he does, but we're going to bust him, and we're going to put him on the hot seat. It's going to be brought to you by Kurt's RV Service and Repair. We're calling it Fill in the Blank with Shay. I don't want you to miss it. Johnny Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. It's coming up right after this.
It's time now for your LeGrand Ride weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, a low of 46 degrees with mostly clear skies. For tomorrow, a high near 86 degrees with partly cloudy conditions. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low near 44 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny throughout the day with a high near 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by LeGrand Ride, regional leaders in outdoor recreation and weather. For extensive, accurate information about trails, snow, and everything weather-related, visit legrandride.com.
Hungry for lunch? Maybe some dinner? Make Benchwarmers Pub and Grill the home for your next mouth-watering meal. They have every type of burger you can imagine, and their sandwich selection rivals anywhere in Eastern Oregon. My favorite's the Reuben. Benchwarmers also has tasty gyros and all kinds of baskets. Steak fingers, shrimp, chicken strips, halibut, and clams. Delish. Head to Benchwarmers for lunch or dinner, enjoy a cold beverage, and watch the game. Benchwarmers Pub and Grill.
Are you ready for the summer drive season? If you're not, Blue Mountain Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer, is ready with the quality parts and fluids to keep your auto or heavy truck performing at its best. Find everything you need for replacement or maintenance parts with top tool brands and shop equipment to get your work done. Let Monty and his team of trained professionals help you solve those everyday vehicle challenges. Get to Blue Mountain Auto Parts for parts, value, and help that makes it worth your while. Blue Mountain Auto Parts, LeGrand.
Are you planning to transport equipment? Make sure you have at least 10 feet between power lines and farm equipment. Hi, this is Andrew from Oregon Trail Electric Cooperative with a reminder to look when operating large equipment and power lines. Keep in mind that uneven ground and shifting soil conditions can put you in harm's way. Be extra careful when operating around trees and brush, as it makes it difficult to see power lines. This is a safety message from your friends at Oregon Trail Electric Cooperative, putting our energy to work for you.
Hey, Eastern Oregon, I'm America's Digital Pro, Kim Commando. Join me Saturday morning at 8 o'clock right here on Super Talk 1450 and 1490 AM Of course, I take all your questions and we talk about everything digital. The internet, smartphones, how to avoid getting scammed online, and those data breaches. Join me for the Kim Komando Show on Super Talk Radio, brought to you by EO&I, your choice for a superior connected experience. Fast, local, and reliable. EO&I, the internet done right.
All right, welcome back. Johnny Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. It's a Tuesday, but it feels like a Friday because you're not working tomorrow, and if you're lucky, you're making this a super long weekend. We'll take the show off Wednesday and Thursday, but I will be back on Friday, just FYI. Next 2 days, we will air Fox Sports Radio in the place of your show right here, Ballgame Show. So, yeah, good stuff. Hey, we're going to do a new segment. I was telling you about it. We're gonna do this every Tuesday as long as this guy's willing to keep coming on the show and keep getting smoked by my fill in the blanks. As long as he's willing to get smoked every week, and I think he is. I'm kidding. Shay, my man, welcome to the program. This is Fill in the Blank with Shay, brought to you by Kurt's RV Service and Repair. Shay, how you doing up there in the Tri-Cities today? Is it hot?
It's hot, Johnny. It's hot. You know, and I got to say, you know, you're going to stump me, but you should have started with that Jamie Moyer question. I knew that right off the get.
Did you? You had Moira easy?
I had Moyer right off the get. I knew that off the top of my head. Now I'm worried that was the easy question.
Oh, I love it, man. Well, let's cue the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out music. That's going to be the official soundtrack of this segment. Shay, are you ready to go? Fill in the blank with Shay.
Let's rock.
First one. The Seahawks all-green color rush uniforms are blank.
They are hideous.
Show me your work. What makes them so hideous? Talk to me, Shay.
What makes them so hideous is the whole color rush thing is hideous. But they had to go with lime green pretty much. I mean, come on. Some people love them, but I just can't get over that. Like, come on, you're not gonna you know, go do. You got me stumped already. First time on the radio.
Dude, they're awful, man. Look, I don't know why people love those, but you're right. There's a lot of folks in the 12s that love the lime green look. Look,
they do. You know, you see that color lime green quite a bit in the tailgate section after people have thrown up. So I don't know if that's why.
Now, there's a new rule in the NFL, which is why I asked you this, that teams are now allowing. The NFL's now allowing teams to wear alternate uniforms 3 times in a season. So, I don't know, man. We might see the ugly color rush more than once this year, and I'm not happy about it. Let's move on.
No, I'm not good on that either. Next question.
Let's move on. The Mariners' 2018 season for you has been blank. And show me your work.
The Mariners' 2018 season for me has been epic. I mean, I watched about 140 Mariner games the last couple of years when they're just barely missing it, and now they're exciting. You know, their pitching was got us through everything. Now all of a sudden we're hitting the ball. I mean, come on. And then Cano goes out, Segura goes out, D. Gordon steps up, does a better job at second base than Cano.
I love it.
Segura comes back, steps right back in where he left off. I mean, this whole team, you know, Haniger's coming up, Gamble's coming back. Felix, his last 5 or 6 games, you know, he's looking not old field fish, but he's figuring it out.
It's fun, man. I agree.
It is fun.
Hey,
matter of fact, after this show, I'm going over to a buddy's house to watch the Mariner game tonight.
Hell yeah, you are. Hey, what'd you think of Turner Head the Clock night? Did you like that?
Yeah, I thought it was all right. You know, I was, not a huge fan, but it was cool. You know, like it's a gimmick, I guess.
Yeah, I was cool with it. Once every 20 years, what the hell, right? Okay.
Exactly, right.
Fill in the blank with Shay, brought to you by Kurt's RV Service and Repair. Next up, blank will be the second best team in the NBA next season. I'm talking regular season records.
Regular season record? Well, it depends on if Houston can keep Capella. That's going to be big. But it definitely, I don't see it coming out of the East. You know, who knows? Actually, maybe Toronto could figure something out, but shoot, that's a tough one. It won't be LA. I'm gonna go with Houston still.
Okay.
I mean, they signed CP3. They still got Harden.
Okay.
I'm going with the Rockets.
They won 65 games this year, no question.
Yeah, exactly.
Boogie Cousins joining the Golden State Warriors for you is blank.
It killed me. I'm not a Warriors fan, but you know what? I love that he went for a championship and didn't go to a horrible team for just a bunch of money. It's he's known as a punk in the thing, but he just moved up a little bit in my book. Like I said, one of my best friends is a Warriors fan, so that really, really hurt.
Dude, he's loving that. He's loving this,
it. It's ridiculous.
Man. I mean, he's loving this, dude. I mean,
oh yeah.
I mean, what is there? There's 82 games in the regular season. There's a minimum of 16 games in the playoffs if you win the title. I mean, what are they talking? 98-0 or something over there, Shay?
Well, we hope not. That's all I can say.
Yeah, hell no. But I mean, Boogie's not going to be available till January, February. He's going to sit on the end of the bench. He's going to learn. He'll be ready to come in and help. And
then he's going to come in halfway through the season energized, which is not good for non-Warrior fans.
Fresh legs and whatnot. Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
All right, let's get fun here. If you could party with one current pro athlete, you would party with blank.
Well, I'm a huge LeBron fan, but if I'm going to say that, I'm going to go out of the. I'm going with Marshawn Lynch, even though he's retired.
Why would you? Why beast mode?
Remember Helford, backup tight end for the Seahawks. He was on a talk show radio and sports radio, and he lived with Marshawn Lynch. And they asked him, well, what's it like to live with Marshawn Lynch? And Helford came and said, well, we only have one rule. What happens at Marshawn's house stays at Marshawn's house, so I can't answer that question, which just makes me want to go to Marshawn's house.
I love it, man. That's a good one, dude. All right, what about this? Blank is the best food when watching a game. And I'm going to say live. If you're at a Hawks game, you're at a Mariners game, wherever you are, you're at a Tri-City Dust Devil game. What's your go-to ballpark food, Shay?
If I'm at a baseball game, you can't beat a beer and a hot dog.
What goes on your dog?
My dog is pretty boring. I put ketchup.
That's
it.
No, grilled onions and kraut and that
stuff.
Oh,
okay, yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I'll put some grilled onions, not a whole lot on it, but I put pretty much ketchup. Just keep that poison mustard away from me, and I'm good.
All right, how about this one? You would give up blank if your Seahawks could win the Super Bowl this year. What's something near and dear that you'd give up? You'd trade it in right now if you knew the Hawks were going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, I don't know if I can say that on the radio.
Yeah, right.
I was like, give me another one after that last one. The 1 yard line. Oh. But you know what? The Seahawks I'd love to see, but give me a World Series. Give me the Mariners World Series, and I'd give it all.
So if you could choose right now, M's win the Super Bowl, World Series, Seahawks win the Super Bowl, you'd rather see the Mariner parade than another Seahawk parade.
Yeah, it's hard to choose between that, but give me the World Series. I mean, that would be epic.
Yeah, that's tough for me, man. That's really tough. I mean, That's a
tough question, but the Seahawks have got one. The Mariners, we're the Mariners, so let's go with that.
And the Seahawks have been to 3 as well. In the last 15 years or so, they've been to 3 Super Bowls. That Mariner parade would be spectacular. And this Seahawk team, it's a bunch of new guys, too. I haven't fallen in love with them yet the way I did the last team. You loved Earl and Cam and Sherm and Bobby. These new guys coming in, I need some time. I'm starting to fall in love with the Mariners. You just talking about those guys?
I am. I love what the Poto's doing. That was he's been really huge for him.
No question. How about this? Blank is the best sports dynasty that you've ever witnessed in your lifetime. All the dynasties you've seen, blank was the most impressive for you.
Well, that's in any sport, huh?
In your lifetime. So don't give me...
in my lifetime...
don't give me the LeBron...
It's down to 2, and I hate to say even one of them. And that's the Patriots.
Yeah.
But... and then the Bulls. You can't beat the 90s Bulls.
So you're going 90s Bulls and the current Patriots?
I mean, current Patriots, yeah. I mean, we'll see what Golden State does in the next couple of years. You know, you might have to throw that in there, them in there with them. But
they're coming.
You know.
Oh, they're coming.
Oh, I'm afraid of that.
What about, Saban has Bama rolling right now.
Okay, well, I didn't even think about college sports. I went straight to professional. It's pretty hard to do what Saban's doing, and I guarantee he's doing it without cheating, which makes me even sicker.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. He's at Bama. He's got the pretty girl.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to.
I'm waiting for Mike Leach to pull that up to WSU, to the Palouse this next year.
You're a big Wazoo Cougar football fan?
I'm a diehard Cougar.
Who's your favorite Cougar quarterback? Blank is your favorite Cougar quarterback ever, and why?
Oh, well, that's Drew Bledsoe. I also got to watch Drew Bledsoe play for high school in Walla Walla here against Kennewakai and here in the local team. So, I mean, I love Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, dude. If Bledsoe would have came back for his senior year, I think they would have went to the Rose Bowl that year. But I mean, God bless him.
Yep.
He was the first overall pick, so you're gonna leave.
Yeah, but you still got the snow game. I'll take that. Bobo's catch.
Bobo in the snow. Yes.
I'll take it all day.
Husky fans hate that, dude. Classic.
I hope they're all listening.
Classic Apple Cup, dude. Classic.
Oh yeah.
You cool with Ryan Leaf? I mean, is he up there for you?
You know what? I'm good. I actually I'm good with him. He came back. You got to get forgive and forget. Everybody gets second chances. He was a jerk. He admits it. He was he got hooked on drugs. He went through it. He's making the best of it. Give the guy a break.
Blank will put together the best proposal for Kawhi Leonard.
Man, I'm wondering what the Sixers are going to go after him for now, because the Lakers are out. I truly believe that he will be with the Lakers next year.
Okay.
When he's a free agent, but I mean, I think the Sixers are trying to put something together because they wanted LeBron or him, and LeBron's gone. So I see the Sixers trying to put something forward to try to push ahead, because right now, I don't even think the Sixers are good enough to get past a healthy Boston. You got to remember, Kyrie and Gordon Hayward were out this year, and they made a run all the way to the finals.
Absolutely. I mean, that was impressive.
Their two best players were hurt, and they made a run. So I hate to say it, but I think LeBron was seeing the forecast too also.
All right, how about this? Fill in the blank with Shay every Tuesday, brought to you by Kurt's RV Service and Repair. Blank is the rookie quarterback this season that will throw for the most touchdown passes.
Interceptions would probably be easier on that one, but let's see. That one, you stumped me on that one. I can't think of
I mean, you know who the rookie quarterbacks are. I know you do.
I do.
I know you know what teams they're playing for, too. I know you do. Give me a rookie quarterback who's going to throw for a decent amount of teeters next year. Come on, Shay.
Man, you Johnny, I don't know if it's the last question, but you finally stumped me on one.
Okay. So you wouldn't even...
My mind went blank.
Baker Mayfield? Ever heard of him?
Baker Mayfield, I'm worried that he's going to try to be too hot and too shiny and run and get stuck by an actual linebacker from the NFL and go RG3 way this season. I hope the best for the guy, but I see him throwing more interceptions than touchdowns.
Josh Rosen? Sam Darnold? I mean,
I'd say more Rosen over Darnold. But it all depends on how they handle the pressure.
Yeah. I think Rosen. I think he's going to get the gig early there. I just don't think it makes.
I agree.
I don't think it makes a lot of sense starting Sam Bradford for a full season, dude. Like, where are you going with that?
Let's see if Sam Bradford can even not get hurt for a full season.
There's no way he stays healthy for a full season, Sam
Exactly.
Bradford. Hell no. No way whatsoever. Fill in the blank with Shay every Tuesday. We appreciate it. Shay, nice job, man. Well done. Week 1. We'll see you next Tuesday.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Johnny.
Absolutely. Good stuff there. Fill in the blank with Shay, brought to you by Kurt's RV Service and Repair. Quality service, fair price, out in Island City. Get down to Kurt's. But whatever the issue may be, mechanical, electrical, you need a doorknob put on, take it to Kurt's. They got a great parts inventory, too. So if you need something you could do yourself, I get it. Get the part at Kurt's RV Service and Repair. Johnny Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Let's move on.
Welcome to Joe Beans. Can I help you? Ooh, you need some homemade soup.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Howdy, what can I get you? Double latte, then.
Oh, that's much better.
Hi, can I help you? Wow. Espresso, coffee, homemade soups, pastries, and fabulous sandwiches. Joe Beans Coffee. Comfort food to soothe the savage beast.
Nobody likes that person with a chip on their shoulder. And no one likes a chip on their windshield either. Luckily, the Windshield Doctor can help you with the latter. Get that chip repaired as soon as possible and get more life out of your windshield. The Windshield Doctor for mobile service, rock chip repair, or complete replacement. The Windshield Doctor in Baker City, 541-523-5839. And in LeGrand, call 541-963-0832.
It's time now for Community Calendar Update. Union County Republican Central Committee will be holding their next monthly meeting on Thursday, July 5th at the Flying J Restaurant Conference Room at noon. The guest speakers will be Representative Greg Barretto and his wife Chris Barretto. They will be speaking about the history of the formation of their family's local business. Seating is limited, but everyone is invited to attend. A no-host lunch will also be available. The American Legion Post 43 in LeGrand is serving up hamburgers every Tuesday night from 5 to 7 p.m. Stop in for the hamburgers and enjoy live music, too. The public is welcome to come down to 301 First Street in LeGrand each week to participate. Every Friday morning from 9 a.m. until noon is the Free Children's Clinic in LeGrand. For more information, please call 541-663-3150. This community calendar update is brought to you by LeGrand Gold and Silver, family-owned and managed, and your trusted local experts for fine jewelry and precious metals. Shop LeGrand Gold and Silver's full line of quality jewelry, gifts, and coins.
In the fabric of America, they are the toughest threads. One of the first things they learned was the code that every service member lives by. Leave no one behind. Now all of us need to live by it too, because some veterans are being left behind. 20 of them take their own lives every day. Learn how to be there for a veteran at BeThereForVeterans.com. Honor the code. Be there. Leave no one behind.
Yo, boo, I know I ain't never told you this before, but I'm out here trying to get my hustle on, but you know what? I just need you to be there for me because gangsters need love too.
Since you've been away, I've been down and lonely. What? Since you've been away, I've been thinking of you. What? Trying to understand the reason you left me. What were you going through? I'm missing you.
Gangsters need love too.
Tell me why the wrong time.
I got you living in mansions, jumping out of Benzes, DKNY clothes.
All right, welcome back. Johnny Ballgame Show. Tuesday feels like a Friday. Brought to you by Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Big thanks to Kurt's RV Service and Repair, my boy Shay. I could tell he was really nervous there. That was the first time, as far as I know, being on a sports talk radio show. I thought he did well. Like I told him, the first segment, the first time is always the worst. I have a recording. It's on a Sony mini disc. Remember those things? The Sony mini disc. The first time I went on the air, dude, Moscow, Idaho, KUOI 89.3 FM up there in Moscow. That's where this show was established, the Johnny Ballgame Show. I was just a student farting around trying to make it in the sports radio world or whatever. And I remember the first time I went on the air and the technology they had to record, you needed a Sony mini disc. And luckily for me, the mall in Moscow, Idaho had a, I don't know if does this even exist anymore? Remember Radio Shack? How sweet. I loved Radio Shack. But there was a Radio Shack in the Moscow Mall, I don't even know if it's still there, that sold mini discs. And I kept them, I kept the supply going. I mean, I have a box at my house of all the shows I did on mini disc. And I go back and I'll listen to, if I get wasted enough one night where I'll just be, I'm just going to put on a random show, let's say November of 2007, 2008. And what the hell was I talking about? And Oregon Ducks, Dennis Dixon goes into Tucson on a Thursday night, number 2 team in the nation, and twists his knee all up. I think I was talking about that once. Remember that? By the way, that Dennis Dixon, he had the Heisman wrapped that year, if you remember. Oh, he had it. Chip Kelly was the OC, I believe. That was Bellatti's last year there. A good Oregon team. The problem was, speaking of Ryan Leaf earlier, Brady Leaf had to come in and the ship sunk. Yeah, so I'll go back. What I'm trying to say is the first segment's always the worst, dude. First time you're on, first show, it's always the worst. But I thought that was actually pretty good. Again, congratulations to my boy Craig for winning the Blue Mountain Barber Tuesday Trivia. Second most wins in Mariner history among pitchers, it's Jamie Moyer. And the dude who texted the show, I'm not going to call you out, and I know you're a lot bigger than me. If you weren't, I'd slap you the next time I saw you. I had a guy who guessed Chris Bosio. Like, is that a joke because he was in the news last week? Or did you honestly think that Chris Bosio has the second most wins, like more wins than Randy, is what you're telling me? I said to have the second most wins. Mike called in first and guessed Randy, so we know it wasn't Randy. Chris Bosio? I swear, if you weren't so big, man, I'll pull a breakfast club line. I'd waste you. Totally. 2 hits. And he didn't even spell Bosio correct. He spelled Bosio with 2 S's. I'm just teasing with you because I know who you are, and I love you. But that's some Yahoo stuff right there. Bosio with 2 S's, like you've struck out twice. Love it. Ballgame show, Benchwarmers Pub. I'm off the next 2 days. I will be at Safeco. My gosh, yes. My sanctuary. I will be at Safeco on Thursday. M's Angels. I think that's the final game of the series. I want them to win at least tonight or tomorrow because I want to go to the game where they can win the series, right? And if a sweep would just be unreal, that would mean they've won, 10 in a row? Tonight's not going to be easy, though. I mean, Otane's back. They're going to have some momentum there. They're going to be excited. And I'm sorry, but anytime Mike Trout puts on a uniform and runs out the dugout at Safeco Field, you better look out. And I'm sorry, but dude, don't be afraid to put him on, Service. I went to the game, the best game of the year, I thought. It was the Mitch Haniger bottom of the ninth 2-run jack walk-off. It was a day game on a Wednesday just a couple of weeks ago. I was at that game, and Trout, again, just murder-faced the Mariners. And I had good seats, and I'm just screaming, walk him. Don't mess with this. You're not scared of anybody else? I mean, I'll deal with Albert. I will. I mean, Mike Trout, he's probably, I'm saying it right now, he'll probably hit a home run in the first inning, right? He probably will. By the way, happy birthday in sports to Moises Alou. I only say this because I hold Moises Alou extremely responsible for the Steve Bartman malfunction. I'm sorry, but if Alou doesn't have a tantrum there, the fans don't jump on Bartman like that. If Alou just says, whatever, and walks back to left field, the fans don't jump on Bartman. But Alou's tantrum, Alou jumping up and down, it just gave the fans all the ammo they needed to ruin a guy's life. Ballgame show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. See you Friday. That's all I got.
Eastern Oregon's home for news, talk, weather, and sports. This is KLBM LeGrand and KBKR Baker City. Super Talk Radio, the talk of Eastern Oregon.
Intel on the Kremlin, POTUS on the court. I'm Jan Johnson. A bipartisan report from the Senate Intelligence Committee says Russia did meddle in the 2016 presidential campaign, and the Kremlin had a